on the computer. And so I panicked, stopped it, and guess what? It flips it around. So you should be seeing it flip normally and the text not backwards. So hi. I'm not sure if anybody is going to join. I know it's kind of in the middle of the afternoon on a Thursday. It's completely random. I have been very hesitant to try live streaming. And to be honest, I am very nervous. But I guess at the end of the day, even if nobody happens to come across this and pop online, then at least you can come back and watch it later, right? So yeah, I guess this morning's been a very stressful morning. Oh, hi, Tina. Welcome. You are here for the very first live stream that I've ever done, which will probably be a complete and total mess, but hopefully I can start doing this more often. So anyway, I have had a extremely stressful morning. And, when I get really stressed out, you think, okay, now I need to do something that's a little more relaxing. And well, no, that's not how my brain works. My brain goes, no, let's distract you with something that is also stressful, but completely different. And so I started thinking about live streaming this morning, and it just stuck with me the entire day. And I have put it off, and, so we'll see how this goes. But happy National Coloring Day, Tina. Hopefully you're able to squeeze some coloring in today. Speaking of that stressful morning, the thing I had to do, I was shorting out, and work was just work. If you've ever hit a situation where, I'm sure if any job, this is a very similar situation, but when you have a certain process that people are supposed to follow, and then you get people who know better, and they're just testing you. And I got really behind because of that this morning. And about lunchtime, I was completely shorted out. And so I was going to start this then, and I chickened out. I said, no, I'm not ready for this. And it probably wouldn't have been a good idea, because I really was just completely stressed out, and I was not relaxed in any way, shape, or form. So what I was doing then, and I was talking about this on last night's video, I had planned to work on my work in progress, my ongoing work in progress in this book last week, or yesterday, and I didn't get around to it. But today I was so stressed out, I had to do something. And so I went ahead and started just slowly working on this one. There it is. And this is kind of what I'm going to do. Just when I get a moment, just take a little section and, randomly put my colors in. And slowly but surely, this will get done. I did this, and it's funny. You would think I'd want to listen to like something relaxing, music or whatever. I couldn't listen to any YouTube videos. And so I pulled up, if you're a fan of very unique music, one thing I would recommend, channel I would recommend you check out is Abby the Spoon Lady. And thank you, Tina. I appreciate that. But Abby the Spoon Lady she is over around Asheville, North Carolina. I'm in Tennessee. I'm about an hour north of Nashville, and it's Central Time here, just as a frame of reference. But she uses these two silver spoons, and all she does is create a beat with it using her hands and her leg, and it is amazing. I don't know how I found it. It was through something completely random, and but I love it, and I hadn't listened to her in a while, so I had to go back. Her and a couple other special guests, they played. So I'm a 90s kid. And if you remember anything from the 90s, you may remember the song No Diggity. They played a version of that. And that is not a song you would think would fit with that. It is great. That just it healed my soul at that point. So I was listening to that. I was listening to Queen, finally getting a chance to sing. Hi, Debs. Welcome, welcome. Yay, we have two. But yeah, no, I was listening to Queen. I was listening to Kansas. I love doing karaoke, and I have not been able to go for a while. And I haven't even really been singing much for a while. And no, I'm not going to sing on here. I'm nervous enough. Let's not, I'm glad two people are here, and I don't want to lose, I don't want to lose anybody because of my singing. But I just let go today. And between that and coloring, it just really helped me out. And so I was able to get back on the work. Fortunately, everything fell into place. And so I'm going to move away from this today, though, because I wanted to do something new. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. So today's just going to be kind of casual because I'm trying to learn the live streaming ropes, so to speak. I'm just going to be pretty much, if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I have a Carefree Coloring series, or if you've seen any of those. And basically, when I do Carefree Coloring, for me, it's Carefree Coloring means coloring in the way that makes you happiest. And for some people, that's just not worrying about color palettes, not worrying about technique, just getting your inner child going and just coloring away and just having a glorious time doing it. For some people, it is technique. They need that kind of focus to take away from whatever's constantly running through their head. And I have to admit, for everyone I've done like that, those have been the most fun ones that I've had. So I thought that would be a perfect one to do today. We're just, like I said, it's just going to be kind of casual. I don't really have a bunch in mind, but I thought today would be a perfect day to do it. Now, I don't know if anybody's watched that video last night that showed my completed pages, but if you haven't already heard, Dover's website for today is having a 50% off sale on, I think, 50 of their different coloring books, and their kids coloring books to, a lot of their Creative Haven ones. And they're also offering 20% off orders over $25 on top of that. So it's a really good deal. I don't know if anything has sold out, but I got on there this morning and I said I wasn't going to order anymore. And then here comes Dover. Yes, ma'am, Debs. That's me too. I love the pictures that I've used a lot of technique with. I am a slow colorist, and when I get done with them, it's a huge accomplishment. But the Carefree Coloring, when I just let go, it just satisfies a whole nother part of me, So, and like I said, that's where I have the most fun usually. But I'm still pretty slow with them. So, but oh my gosh, I completely lost my train of thought. Well, that's all right. Oh yeah, the Dover sale. Hi, Katrina. Welcome. Glad you could drop by. It's I was saying earlier, this is my first attempt at live streaming, so there might be some kinks to work out, but we will persevere, and hopefully, if I can move past my initial nervousness, I might try to make this a regular thing. But let's see. All right. I'm trying to look. My chat window is to my right, so I turn my head to the right to look at that, and then my microphone, of course, is to the left. So I'm not organized in any way, shape, or form. But Dover's having a really good sale. And like I said, I didn't need any more coloring books. And then I saw the ones they had on 50% and off. And a lot of those. Oh, no, Katrina, I'm sorry about that. I'm not sure if there's anything I can do on my end for that. If anybody else is having that issue, let me know. I don't really see any options to try to change things on my end. So if everybody else starts having issues like that, I'll end it and try to restart it, and we'll see if it fixes it. Hopefully on a Thursday afternoon, not a lot of people are going to be live streaming. I know Friday nights a lot of times when I watch live streams, they buffer a lot, just I think because of the volume on YouTube at that time. And it really doesn't matter how good an internet connection you have, but I think it's just the sheer amount of people. I live in a tiny town, but we have fantastic internet. I pay out the nose for it, but we have fantastic internet. And working from home, I am extremely, extremely lucky to have that. I wouldn't be able to work from home. But yeah, I ordered some books from Dover this morning. And like I said, they may still have some. YouTube is probably having a moment. YouTube always has a moment, Deb. I mean, seriously. All right. So anyway, like I said, go over there and check it out if you're a Dover fan. I think the sale is through midnight tonight. So anyway, like I said, we're just going to kind of roll with creative coloring, which is basically today going to be me grabbing my Sharpies and my Bics. Like I said, nothing too complicated today as I'm getting used to this. This is Flower Mandalas. I colored out of this one a couple times, a couple pages in June, one of them actually being a Carefree Coloring. And I love these. When I was super stressed out earlier, this was where I was going. And then I was like, no, I can't do a live stream right now. I was having a real moment, and nobody needed to share in that. So, okay. Goodness. There we go. It's actually a pretty good angle. I'm pleasantly surprised by that. It's a lot better than my webcam software. So I'll say that for YouTube. Anyway, this is the one I'm going to be working on today. And I said last night that I was going to try to complete a picture on video, which has never happened. And it may not happen today, but I'm certainly going to try. I'm not going to set myself up for failure. So we're going to stick with Sharpies and Bics to start with. And then I might add in some colored pencils. So yes, I know I've been fighting with... So the month of June, I was trying to record with my cell phone. And my... awesome. Goodness, Katrina. Sorry. That is awesome. Yeah, I think, like I said... I didn't see anything on my end, but if that does happen, guys, let me know. And hello. But if that does happen, let me know, and I'll try to at least end and restart it if we do have some issues. But yes, for the month of June, I was trying to use my cell phone, and that was a nightmare. It's a Samsung Galaxy 7 or something, but I was draining the battery like crazy, and it was impossible to be able to record a video and save it and load it without my phone either telling me it was out of space or going down to like 3% battery and refusing to do anything. So after some frustration, I ended up getting a webcam. I brought my desktop into the room that I normally record in, and then I picked up a mic as well. And it's been a couple weeks of adjustment with sound and with video. But like I said, I actually like YouTube software a lot better than my webcam stuff. I wonder if I can find a way around that. And no, I'm not going to be live streaming all the time. We're not going to do that. No. See, look, people, we are 14 minutes in and I haven't even started coloring. This goal of finishing a page today might not happen unless you're willing to stay till 9 o'clock. I don't know. Which I guess I can still color if nobody else is here. Thanks a lot, Debs. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out. I don't really have any moderators per se yet or anything. I'm keeping a pretty good eye on the window. If I really like doing this and I continue to roll with it, hopefully down the road we can see if some people are willing to volunteer for that. So, oh yes, I know I spend so much time online, and trolls are just part of the mix. Yeah, they are just there. You're never going to get around them. You just got to figure out, okay, whatever. So I'm just going to start out with some Sharpies on this, and I just really like the sunflowers. It's hot and humid here, miserable heat. I'm not a particular fan of this time of year in Tennessee. Awesome, Debs. Yeah, if we start having an issue, I will definitely see if I can figure out how to make you a moderator. I do it, but I would have to take a moment. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. But now, Tennessee has maybe 2 weeks in the spring and about 2 weeks in the fall that are just amazing. Perfect weather, 70 degrees, not a lot of rain, no humidity, and it's just glorious. And then the rest of the year, you're either in 3 layers of clothing or, you're about to get arrested for indecency and exposure outside because it's 1,000,000 degrees and you feel like you've been hit with a wet towel every time you walk outside. And that's where we're at right now, is the wet towel weather. And I hate it. But this is where I grew up. I'm trying to get more used to it, or get used to it this year. I freeze my poor husband. My husband's name's Brent, and he also works at home. We are both very lucky that we can do that. But I have to have it cool. And to sleep, to live, I have to have it cooler. And where he works, there's a vent right next to his workstation. And he freezes all day long. And then I'm on the other side of the room, and I'm getting heat from another side of or from an area of the house. It's an older house. Oh, wow. Thanks, Sarah. Well, I appreciate that. This was kind of a, hey, let's see what happens. I'm lucky in that in my area, and I live in a city. They call it a city, but it's town. Uh-oh, I think I lost everybody. The chat window just disappeared. Oh, there it came. Awesome. Yes, Debs, I've seen that. I've heard Zoe talk about that, where Zoe Archer, where just it's been so hot in England and over there across the ocean. You guys are suffering back. It's almost like you guys are in Tennessee from the way it sounds. So, yeah, and I think most of you over there, you don't really ever have to use air conditioning, do you? Boy, if I couldn't get air conditioning, I could not live here. But yeah, so I think you don't get air conditioning if I'm like an air conditioning unit, if I'm correct, because your temperatures don't normally go this high. So now if it was that mild, it'd be great. But yeah, no, I feel bad for you guys, because not only are you dealing with what I'm dealing with, but you don't really have, a lot of people just have fans and stuff. I mean, I've got an AC unit I can flip over. So yeah, no, and that's what I thought. Oh, in Alberta too. Wow. Yeah, I know, right? And so what's weird about it is this summer. So the past few summers, Tennessee's seen temperatures reach like in the hundreds every summer without fail for at least a couple weeks out of the summer holidays. Goodness, summer season. And this year we haven't done that, but it feels worse in a way because it's just so much more humid, and it's just persistent more. Previous years it was kind of touch and go, but this year it is like absolutely persistent, and it's miserable and it's gross. Oh gosh, I'm terrible. Well, guys, man, I wish if you don't have AC, I really wish I could send you something. Send you some window air conditioners or something. But yeah, my husband would probably gladly send our unit to you, except on like really hot days. Because like I said, it's funny where he works in the house, it's a vent blowing almost directly on him all day. And then for some reason, I'm sitting on the side of the room that gets the hot drafts. It's an older house. This house was built in 1926. So, that old drafty kind of house. And so that's just a given with any older house you get. But for some reason, we wound up in this situation where I was on the side with the hot, drafty stuff happening, and my husband was on the side where the vent was, and he was freezing and miserable, and we were kind of fighting over the thermostat during the day. Electric fan on full blast. Yeah. And see, that's the thing about when it's like mucky and humid and stuff. I can deal with heat. Okay. I went up to Philadelphia on vacation. Oh goodness. Whew. Yeah, I when I was up in Philadelphia, it wasn't humid. There was a day where it hit probably about the mid 90s or something like that, and it was hot, but I didn't really notice it because there was just no humidity with it. And I got all the way back to Nashville and walked out of the airport, and like I said, it's like somebody slapped me with a nasty hot wet towel that had been left sitting out for 3 days. And I was just like, "Ugh, oh no." But yeah, Sarah, I'm really sorry about that. About your mom. It sounds like she's dealing with the heat too. So I guess at the end of the day, at least we all can we all understand in terms of weather what each other's going through. But yeah, no, we haven't really seen like the 100-degree days. But like I said, it's just so much more persistent. My husband and I, when we're fighting over the thermostat, we had an older thermostat, and at one point, I have to have it cold when I sleep. Now, that's just one thing I will not compromise on, because if I am hot, I will not sleep. And I have really bad insomnia. So, yes, exactly. Maybe in talking about it, Sarah, we will all just feel a little bit cooler because of it. So, who knows? Maybe like, the power of group thinking or something. At least in our heads, we'll think we feel cooler. But yeah, there is. Oh, Windsor. Okay. Wow, this is pretty awesome. The company I work for is a global company, and often I am on calls during, not normal U.S. business hours. I I have programs I work with in Europe, Italy in particular. Oh yes, no, Australia, Japan, just pretty much all these different places, and it's really really fun. I absolutely love it. And every time I talk to somebody over, I think the other day Lincolnshire. Wow. Well, I'm glad you guys are getting a really good connection with this. So like I said, give YouTube some credit here. But I really love being able to talk to people in different parts of the world. And every time I get on the phone, though, I get a little nervous because that stereotypical Southern accent. I know I have it. I can't hardly listen to myself talk. It makes me cringe. That's why if some of my videos are weird, that's probably because I didn't watch them to check them. But every time I get on one of those calls, though, I'm like, all these people just sound so professional and crisp. And then here I come and talking, basically mumbling probably half the time. And but then everybody's like, "Oh, I just love your accent." And I'm like, "Well, I'm glad somebody does." Okay, so yeah, no, I can't. Back to the AC. I cannot sleep if it's hot. And because I have insomnia, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The temperature has to come down at night. And if it gets bad enough during the days, heat wise, I create what I like to call my wind tunnel. And I will go, my normal work clothes are a tank top and shorts. And I will go into the bedroom, which is the coolest part of the house in the afternoons. And I will turn the ceiling fan on. We have a box fan in there I will turn on. I'll turn everything on full blast, and I will lay there and just, it makes a huge difference. And I call it my wind tunnel because I can barely hear anything over it, but sometimes it's the only thing that will give me relief. Yes, Tina, they're mine too. Like I said, when I get on those calls, sometimes I just love listening to the different people talk because the accents are so different, and it's so much fun. But our thermostat was older, and one night when I said it had to go down in temperature, we brought it all the way down to 71 one night. Again, it's hi, Dusty. Wow, Calgary too. Goodness. But welcome. But yeah, 71 seems pretty cold. But again, this is a really drafty house, and we have tried to insulate, but they're like the original windows on the house. They're actual windows that use a rope pulley to raise it up and down. I'll have to take my camera around at one point and show these. They're really neat, but they are definitely not they're definitely not good at insulating because they're older windows. They're single pane. And I love the character of this house, but oh my goodness, when it comes to things like insulation and just more modern type stuff, it's sometimes it can get a little stressful. So I had that thermostat 71 Fahrenheit. I'm trying to think of that in I'm trying to think of that in Celsius. If somebody can help me out with that, I'd appreciate it. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to go look at Google. But oh goodness, yeah, Dusty. You know the thing with those types of storms. Actually, I'm gonna get these little buds too. We get those a lot in the afternoons. We get a good thunderstorm whipping up with a lot of rain and hail and things like that. And you think, for like 3 minutes after it stops, it cools everything off. And then the sun comes out and it just makes everything all the more humid and just miserable and gross. So, and that happens frequently during the summer. We've had a lot of pop-up thunderstorms in the afternoon. We've been fortunate to not have any severe ones. Normally in the spring, it is like you are on constant watch for tornadoes in this area. We've had some hit. Yes, Google. Exactly. When it comes to complicated math, Sarah, my husband's the math person, so I always end up asking him, or I have Echo Dots, and I'll ask them too. They're really handy for that, by the way. If I had one in here, I could ask her, but no, we're not going to do that. But anyway, I pulled it all the way down to 71 on the thermostat, and it got stuck there. The thermostat would not move up or down temperature wise. I guess the buttons broke or something. It was a really old thermostat. And so for probably at least a month or so, we did this thing where in the morning we'd get up and shut off the air entirely. I would sit there, and as long as I had a fan blowing in my face, I was fine until about mid-afternoon. Then we would have to flip it back on. My husband would just have to wear a long sleeve shirt at that point. But usually by then, he's actually getting pretty warm too. And then if need be, I'll go do my little wind tunnel I was talking about. We finally got that stupid thermostat replaced a couple weeks ago. And it's a programmable one. And I am so happy. It's funny, you don't really think about the little modern like tech conveniences you have. I know a thermostat sounds like that sounds kind of crazy with that, but you think about just how easy it is when you have an AC unit or a heating unit. You can just go over and flip a switch or whatever, and it cuts on and everything's great. But take that away for a while, and then all of a sudden it's like, I really miss this. I had no idea. So yeah, we're good at compromising at about, in the mornings, I'll let it get up to about 75, and then we'll cut it down a few degrees in the afternoon once heat starts warming up too. The sun, I have a tin roof, so when the sun comes out in the mornings, it hits the back part of the house. In the afternoons, it hits the front part, and that's where we both work, and that's where, things really start heating up. So, yeah, we found a pretty good compromise, and it works well. I actually have a ceiling fan going in here, and I was worried you guys could hear it, but I don't think you can. It's a cheaper one, so when you turn it up on max, it sounds like it's about to just fall out of the ceiling. Yes, Debs. Like I said, you don't realize how much you're going to miss something until all of a sudden it's gone. All right, so I think I've got all the sunflower parts. Sorry, I was trying to grab my Bics here. I was trying to figure out what I want to do next. I really like my Bic markings better than my Sharpies, I have to admit. For pictures like this, it's a little different because you're doing small areas. But when I'm coloring backgrounds and big spaces with these types of markers, I really love, I'm going to use a brown for this, and I might go back over it later with some colored pencil. We'll see how it goes to kind of make it like a brownish black. But I found with the Bic markings, like if you're coloring in a background, they seem to streak less than Sharpies do. Plus, they have names. And I really wish Sharpie would do that. Because if I try to swatch them, I have to like put little numbers on them and tape, or use a Sharpie on a Sharpie. Doesn't that sound that sounds pretty good, doesn't it? So like I'll just put like an 8 or a 9 on it, and then I'll swatch them. But I picked up some more during Prime Day, and now my numbering system's completely out of whack, and I'm gonna have to do numbers with everything else. Yeah, Debs, I had never tried them. Well, when I first started coloring, of course, you never really think about coloring with Sharpies. I mean, if you ever played around with them as a kid, you're like, oh gosh, I really want to color with these. But when you're starting out, at least for me, when I was starting out coloring as an adult, Sharpies weren't something I thought of as like a go-to to actually color with. And I love them. I love you. If you've seen my videos, I will use pretty much anything I can in a picture. But I find a lot of times the Bics and the Sharpies are just a good comfort supply, I guess, for me. So if I'm doing Carefree Coloring or something like that, a lot of times I'll reach for alcohol markers. And that's what I love about these books, because most of the Creative Haven books, now there are other Dover publications that are double-sided. I think I showed those in a flip through last Friday. But the Creative Haven ones are single-sided. And so you can see and that's great. Like the Bics and the Sharpies, give really good saturated color, but you don't have to worry about losing your picture on your next page. All right. Yeah, I think I'll go back over that. And if I don't use a colored pencil, I might just hatch in a little bit of black there, because when I see sunflowers, it's kind of more like a brown black in the center. Now, as far as leaves, I cannot remember. I think they're like a darker green. So let me see what I can find. Sorry for the noise. Yeah. I think I only have one green in the Bics. So let me pop over to my Sharpies and see. I have more color variety in my Sharpies. They tend to have a lot more color selection than the Bics do, which is a shame. Trying not... Hey, look, I dropped my first thing of the day on video, and you guys are here to witness it. Congratulations. Oh, sorry, Sarah. I am working in a flower mandalas. Well, that way. I did create a Carefree Coloring in this last month. I think I pulled those pictures out. Otherwise, I would show you. And it's going to take me 5 minutes to find them otherwise. But my completed pages for June, I think it was June, I had a couple of the ones from this. I'm not huge on mandalas, but I do really like these. I don't know what the difference is, but these are really soothing, relaxing for me. Which set? Oh, goodness. Are the sets named, Deb? I'm not sure. So did I get the pastels? I think I got the pastels in the Bics. Yes, I got like the pastel colors during Prime Day. So I've got some of the peach parfait and some of the more pastel-y colors. The original set I got had like deep sea blue. Playful purple is probably one of my favorites. That was actually the very first background I colored was with this. And it's kind of a blue purple color. Well, goodness. All right. Well, playful purple. It's like a purple blue color. And this is probably my favorite color. I absolutely love it. So that was the first set I had. And then, like I said, I got one with, I think, more of the basic colors. I can't remember how many there are color-wise, but I know I don't have all of them. Yeah, 36. I wish they would. I went to their site, and they sell them in sets on their site some, but they also sell them individually, which I think is really cool. I would have never thought to buy like open stock for Sharpies and Bics, but you can do it. I think for at least US in dollars, I'm not, again, conversions, They're about $1 a piece, which is a little high, but if there's a particular color you really like, then that's a lot better than trying to take your chances with an entire set and maybe getting duplicate colors. I do also have the ultra fine points for a lot of the detail work. And actually, I think I've got some different colors in the fine points, ultra fines, than I do the fine points. So that is not the color I want. So like I'm trying to find not really a green, but like a darker green with a brown kind of in it. And what I think I'm going to have to do is do what I said earlier and kind of work in some brown. Yeah. I'll spend 10 minutes looking for this thing. I don't think I have one in that color. So I dropped a marker. Now I'm going to drop a whole box. We're going to level up with that. So I'm going to use this green, the Ohuhu markers. I have the Cali Arts, and I do love them. The Million Christmas Cats picture, the last one I completed, I'm going to use this color in the Sharpie, and then I may go in with a little bit of shading with a colored pencil if I feel like it. We'll see. If not, then these sunflowers will just have a lighter kind of green. Oh, actually, this goes on pretty dark. Wonderful. But I've tried the Cali Arts. I actually really love the Cali Arts. I have those. I have the 100 set. I did, for Prime Day, get the 50 set of shuttle art. Woo. Hey, look, they were right there. Everything else is scattered, but I had that with me. I have not tried those. I have heard that the Ohuhu are pretty similar. I don't think if they had a sale on Prime Day, it wasn't a super significant one, so I haven't tried them yet. About 16 greens in the 80 set. Okay, Devs, yeah, there is a perfect reason to get Ohuhus right there. And probably if I got my Cali Arts, I could find it, but I'm lazy and it will take... You'll be sitting here staring at this thing with no movement whatsoever for probably 5 minutes while I try to dig those out from whatever hole they're in right now. Oh, no, Debs, I'm sorry about that. Well, like I said, I haven't tried the shuttle art ones, but I've heard they're very similar, at least in how they lay down. And I believe the Ohuhus are very similar too. I think a lot of it may come down to how much ink is in each of those markers. And that's probably where they might stand out a little differently. I think Jennifer Stay over at Coloring Bliss did a test with, was it alcohol markers? Yes. She did a test with different alcohol markers to show which ones had like the most ink in them and when coloring would go along the longest. And then she came up with, she showed like what the price is, at least at the time of the video. And then you kind of get an idea of how much, which ones are probably a little more cost friendly and which ones aren't. And it's a really good video, by the way. If you haven't seen that and you're really interested in the different types of alcohol markers and you're looking to see what will give you like the most bang for your buck, so to speak, that's a really good video. And I hope she does the same with the water-based markers as well. And it'd be really fun if she threw Crayolas in there. Yes, it does, Dusty. I love when she does little things like that. And I love the videos like that where things are compared side by side. I enjoy videos where people just review the actual, like a colored pencil set or a marker set. But it's more interesting to me when I see like side-by-side comparisons, because that's where you can really sit and think, how much do I want to invest in this? How much am I going to use this? And having that side-by-side comparison really helps with that. Oh, yeah. I think it was last week or the week before. She did mention, if people want her to do the water-based version, to let her know. And I did say that in the comments. So I'm really hoping other people suggested that too, because like I said, I'd love to see like Crayolas compared to other stuff, which I could probably do that test myself. But, if she's going to do it, why reinvent the wheel, right? Well, I'll tell you what, if she doesn't do it, then I will. And I'll see if I can give credit to her and follow a similar test as to the way she did it. And her test was pretty thorough. But and she included Sharpies in that and Bics. And I think, if I recall correctly, she said that the Sharpies have more ink in them for the unit price than the Bics do, which is really neat. And I would not have known that. But when I got to thinking about it, I was like, okay, sorry, I was checking the chat again. When I was thinking about it, I was like, yeah, Sharpies may be a little cheaper, but if I go buy nothing but Sharpies and then I don't ever want to color with them, then am I really saving any money? And that's kind of, I see with any art supply. Yeah, no kidding, Dusty. And really, I'm trying to think with the alcohol-based markers. I have Tombos, and you can buy those open stock, so that wouldn't be too much of a problem. But like with the Arteza, as far as I know, they don't sell those open stock, and that's pretty much the same thing with all their products. So if I sacrificed one and I really wanted that color again, I'd have to get the whole set. And I mean, trust me, I had plenty I bought for Prime Day, and I really didn't need to throw in any duplicates of what I already have, which I kind of did anyway, because they had a really good price on those Wanshui colored pencils, and I had already had bought a set. And also on the Arteza 7296 set, I can't remember which one it is, the colored pencils. Oops, okay, so I kind of gave that away. Anyway, the duplicates that I got, they were a really good price, but then I got them and I thought, at the rate I'm going, I'm not going to need this duplicate set for a long time. So then I thought, okay, by the time I need it, it'll probably be Prime Day 2019. So that's what kind of spurred the giveaway idea. And I thought, well, somebody else could get a lot more out of these, right now than I would. And I just, I found a really good deal, and I wanted to be able to pass something like that on to somebody else, kind of like, it's not really pay it forward in terms of finding a deal, but I've had a lot of kindness, especially in these last few weeks. And guys, if any of you have watched, the videos that happened in July and you commented on everything that was happening, I do want to say again, thank you so much. It surprised me. I figured I'd read those comments. I couldn't read those comments for days and think I was just going to sob when I read them. But they really helped, and I didn't have to wait forever to watch or forever to read them. I was more prepared than I thought I was, and it really did help. So thank you so much for that. And I've talked to a lot of people about it, and it's just, a lot of people don't really have as much a connection with their pets as others. And when one of my cats passed away, I don't have any children, and they mean the world to me, and I'm a crazy cat lady, and I just can't, at first I was reluctant to admit that to people. Somebody would ask me, well, how many cats do you have? And I would always respond with too many, because I did not want to tell people how many I had. But I've grown into it. I've reached the point of, what? If they are well taken care of, I have the money to spoil them and take care of myself and my husband, and I'm happy with my life, then who cares what other people think, right? Yes. Oh, they helped immensely, Deb. Seriously. It was weird because with my previous cats that had passed away, it had been 7 or 8 years since I had a cat pass away, which was a really good run. And I figured Felix or Tiger, because they were the oldest at 16 this year and some change, I figured they were going to be next unless somebody, popped up with something unexpected. And I told my husband when we first started dating, and you know what? Brent is amazing, because I will tell you right now, I have 11 cats. I had 12 there for about 2 or 3 months, and I hadn't really talked about Annie much, but we're back to 11 now. I have 11. Yes, exactly, Dusty. It's one of those things where But see, when you tell people you have 11 cats, what is like the immediate look on their face? I mean, just think about it. Heck, it'd probably be the same look you would give me if you just met me on the street and I told you that. And I get that. Like, stereotypes exist for a reason, to a point. And I was always super insecure about it, for years. And now I've just, like I said earlier, I've just reached a point of, if I can take great care of them and I'm happy and they're happy and my husband's happy, then who cares, right? These people don't live my life. So, and I'm not trying to be flippant about it. I'm not trying to be mean about it, but that can actually apply to a lot of things in life, where if you're a little insecure about telling people something you love, like coloring, for example. Yeah. Well, yeah, Dusty, I think to most normal, well-adjusted individuals, 11 is a lot. I won't deny that. I won't sit here and say, oh, no, that's not that many. No, I know it's a lot. I am well aware. So, yeah, exactly. But, shoot, I totally lost my train of thought there. But, oh, gosh. Anyway, so I was saying, actually, I was bragging on Brent. Brent's amazing because when we first started dating, I had 11 at that point. And I've been divorced for a little under about a year. And it's funny, we went to college together our senior year. And oh my gosh, Dusty, I don't know about that now. I guess it depends on who you're talking to. Now, yeah, I know a lot of people that would look at you like that if you said that, but I don't. Yes, exactly, Devs. That's it. And that was what I was going to say. That kind of thought process, that's something I myself personally should apply to a lot of things. Like what I was saying with coloring. I mean, now if somebody asks what you like to do in your spare time and you go to, sorry guys, I got a message from a friend of mine. We were having some elections today in my county for like county commissioner seats. And one of my closest friends and this is the only politics I will say, I promise, because that is the last thing I want to talk about right now. But one of my closest friends is running for one of the county commissioner seats. And he just messaged me, kind of letting me know how the day's going. I will probably have to, what time is it? Oh, it's only 20 till 4. I'm fine. The polls don't close till 7 p.m., I think. So I do want to try to go out there with him to just see what the results are. With the local elections, they are extremely small. I've seen people win by 2 votes before. So that's always an interesting time for sure. But no, I mean, when you tell people you like coloring and they kind of look at you like, okay. And if you show them the stuff you're doing, a lot of times, a lot of them are like, oh, wow, yeah, I get that. And, but again, and that's something I need to do more myself anyway, is stop being so insecure. If I'm happy and everybody's okay and things are good, then so be it. People are going to judge. People are not going to like stuff they don't understand. That's just, how people can be. And you're not going to really change that mindset with everybody. So you kind of have to learn how to live with it and not be scared to be who you are, I guess. And that is your daily inspirational message. Okay, rolling back, Dusty. Yeah, oh gosh. See, I've gotten off on so many different threads here. Hey, at least I'm still coloring while I'm talking. I figured I couldn't do 2 different things at once. That's why I stuck with Sharpies for this. I figured this was safe. We'll just do some solid coloring, and maybe the more I get used to twisting my head back and forth and being able to color while keeping an eye on the chat, maybe I can move on to something a little more technique heavy. But for now, this is what we're going to do. Actually, when I was thinking about live streaming, when I first started this channel, and then immediately was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not ready. I really did want to live stream the Carefree Colorings because I figured those would be the most comfortable, laid back ones, where everybody could just kind of relax and, get out whatever makes you happy. If it's Sharpies, if it's colored pencils, and just everybody just kind of chill. And I still want to do that. I'm just not sure what day because there's so many other live streams, and I don't want to uh, live stream during a time that somebody else is. So I've got to do a little bit of looking around on that and thinking. So this has actually went really well. I'm super happy, and I'm super happy you guys are here. And I figured if nobody showed up, at least it would just be a recorded video, right? So I was taking care of that anyway. All right, now that I've went off on another thread, if you watch, you guys have seen my videos. This is what I do. This is my strength. I get distracted very easily, and but when me and my husband first started dating, we went to the same school in college. Yes, Debs. I actually checked that before I started live streaming today because I thought there was somebody that live streamed in Thursday afternoons, but weirdly enough, nobody streams on Thursday afternoons or nights in the US. And I thought, oh, wow, this is a free night. Now, see, the problem with that is that would be a perfect night. And trust me, by Thursday, with work and everything else going on in my life, I probably need to just sit and color and not think about much. But the problem right now is my 2 Thursday nights a month are kind of occupied. I am actually a part of local government. Okay, so this is like the second politics sentence I will say, just for reference. I'm part of our local government here in the city, and we have meetings twice a month on Thursday nights. So up until December, I can't really do that. So I've got to figure out another time. And I know afternoons are kind of weird, not only for, people in different areas and different time zones, because I know it's pretty late for those in the UK area. And I work with a lot of those people, and they are getting off work pretty much about the time I log on in the morning. And sometimes that can be a little difficult when we're all trying to work on something together. But I know, there are different times and afternoons in the US. A lot of people are working at this time. So I don't know. I just thought this was a great thing to do because it's National Coloring Book Day and just to kind of give it a test run. When I was in college, I had to transfer my senior year to a different college. It was a private college because my fiance at the time had graduated and gotten a job on the other side of Kentucky. So I was living in Kentucky at the time. Owensboro, if anybody on here is familiar with that area. Thank you, Debs. Actually, Erin from Simple Art for Adults, that's actually the area she lives in. And that was so cool when I found her. And I heard her talking and I would hear her reference certain things. Oh, gosh, Dusty. Yeah, and the thing is, I try. So my work's very flexible, and that's why I'm doing this in the afternoon. And trust me, after this morning, I needed a break. Now, I may work some tonight. I actually don't have a meeting tonight, thank goodness. But I may work a little bit tonight. I may work, if I can't sleep, I may work at 3 a.m. Thank you so much, Dusty. Guys, I keep telling people, I'm like, I've been at all the dark corners of the internet. My husband and I are both like computer geek types, and we always have been. Both of our degrees are in computers. Mine's in information systems, and his is in computer science. And our jobs, like I do email marketing and web design, and he works a lot in reporting and stuff, using scripts and databases and stuff. So over the years, we have seen all the different kinds of corners of the internet. And, there are a lot of grumpy people on the internet, and a lot of people that just, for some reason, they get their kicks just making others miserable. And I see that a lot. But what has just blown me away is this is the first group that I've participated in or seen that is almost entirely just positive. And, you know, any group's going to have people that are just miserable and, you know, they're always going to be people that don't like what you're doing. I actually laughed. I don't really pay much attention to the stats on my videos, but when I did the giveaway video a couple nights ago, I had a dislike on that one. And the only other dislike I found is the Carefree Coloring episode. And it's fine. I mean, that's what I said. Some people are just unhappy and something's going to rub them the wrong way. And if I worry about trying to make everybody happy, then I would never, ever record a video. But I laughed about it because I thought it was funny. And it didn't really bother me, but I told my husband, I said, of all the inoffensive, of all the videos that I do, those types of videos are probably what I would consider the most inoffensive videos. And they are the only ones that get dislikes. So yeah, the internet's full of angry people, and we all have seen that these days. Thus why I don't want to talk about politics and everything else. But you know, there's just people that are unhappy and they're angry, or they just want to, you know, mess with somebody else, and for some reason it helps make them feel better about themselves. That's what it is. It's an insecurity. If people do that and they act like they're looking down on you, they think they're superior. They want to feel superior and think, oh, well, I'm doing better than she is. And that's all it is. You know, if you look at it from that perspective, it really helps take the sting out of that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, no, the coloring community has been one of the most positive. And when I started, it just blew me away. And I figured, oh, well, there's going to be there's going to be a problem. And again, with any group of people that share a hobby, you're going to have drama and you're going to have, you know, different things going on. But overall, I mean, compared to other interest groups, I do a lot of computer gaming. My husband and I both do, and we're doing online computer gaming a lot. And this is a perfect example. When we play games together or play online games, those two. I mean, and the thing is, for some of those people, like, that might be the only job and opportunity they have. Like, some company has contacted them, and for some reason, that's, you know, I don't know. It's kind of like telemarketers. I try very hard not to be mean to telemarketers, because I know for the most part they are just trying to work a job. They're trying to, you know, provide for themselves. For some reason or another, they work as a telemarketer, and everybody's got to, you know, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. And if they're nice and they're respectful. Hi, Joan. Yes, we are working out of flower mandalas. Let me move my mic a sec. We were working out of flower mandalas out of Creative Haven, from Creative Haven in Dover. And hi, Joan, and welcome. I think some people are also getting off work here in the U.S., so I don't know how long I'm going to roll. So far, I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm not making much progress, but that's okay. If I don't get my page done today, I will get it done at some point. But, oh gosh, here we go with that. Losing that train of thought. Oh, well, the reason. Oh, I'm sorry, Joan. If you're having some trouble, I know some people. I know somebody was having some trouble before. I believe it was Katrina. If she's still here, I'm not sure if she is. She was having some trouble with buffering, but everybody else said that they weren't having issues. But if everybody does start having problems, just let me know, and we'll try to kick this back off and see if we can fix it. Because there's really, as far as I can see, there are no options on my end to do anything regarding the video. So, and a lot of people have said it's actually a really good, it's really good video. And my town, they call it a city, but you know what? It's a town. I don't know who decided to put it as a city in the charter. Somebody was too big for their britches, as we like to say around here. It is a town. It's 2,300 people. I mean, we are a speck. We should not be a city, classified as a city. But it's 2,300 people in this town, and the phone company and main internet company we have is like a local co-op, and they service not only our town but the surrounding areas. And they get a lot of grants for fiber optic and high speed internet, which is awesome. And sadly, I get better internet. I get a better internet connection here than I have in some of the more populated areas I've lived in. But you have to pay for it. I probably pay 3 to 4 times as much as most people would. But when you're working from home and you need a consistent connection, and like I said, both me and my husband work from home, we have to have a consistent connection and a strong one. It's worth it. It's far cheaper than trying to commute to Nashville, which is probably the closest area that for both of us we would find a job well suited to our areas in. And I actually did that. I commuted to Nashville for 4.5 years. And it was an hour and a half one way. And then when I started going to get my master's, I added another 2 hours to that. So in 2 days a week, I would be driving for about 3.5 hours in a day. Now that may not add up, but it was 3.5 hours. Again, my husband's the math person and I am tired. I'm not thinking right. Oh my goodness. See, this would be the time of the afternoon where I would be like, oh gosh, I really want to take a nap. And so see, you guys are helping me out, because this way I'm not sitting there and trying to fall asleep. And of course, if I take a nap, I'll never go to sleep tonight. So you guys are helping me out too. So thank you much. Oh, what I was going to say earlier, Joan, I am working out of the Creative Haven book because Anne at A Colorful Life is doing a Dover month color along, and she's co-hosting with Grace's Coloring Corner and Sharon's Sanctuary. And I love Creative Haven books anyway, so I probably would have went to this anyway today. And but that's one of the reasons I'm coloring out of these books. But they are, when about a couple months ago, I would have said the Jade Summer books were my favorite. And I still love them for their variety. But the Creative Haven books in particular through Dover have to hands down be my favorite books because of the paper. It's not super high quality paper, but it's strong enough to take pretty much anything I can throw at it. And because I make an absolute mess of my supplies because I'm coloring something and I'll go, oh, I want to use watercolors here, and I want to use distress inks here, and I want to use colored pencils here. Every time I get done with a picture like that, my area is just a complete disaster. That's the reason I'm having so much trouble finding stuff right now. I got done with that Hannah Lynn pirate picture, and I had used so many different things that everything was just scattered, and I still have to put it all back. Yeah, Tina. But, oh, shoot. Let me grab a drink, guys. Hang on. Yay, Joan. That's awesome. Finally. Well, hopefully it continues to work well. And like I said, maybe I would really like to pick a time like in the afternoons or something, maybe when there's not as much traffic on YouTube. Now, again, because of different countries and different areas, that may not be the case. But, oh, Dusty, yeah. So, with the streaming stuff, I know, like, I wouldn't want to do it on a Friday or Saturday night anyway, but those are going to be times I think where people get the most issues with buffering, and on the weekends. But Dusty, let's see. Oh goodness, what did we not play? Hi, Grace. Welcome. I was just talking about you and how you're co-hosting with Dover Month, which is actually, I'm coloring out of a Dover book. The Flower Mandalas. So I'm glad you could make it. That's awesome. Dusty, yeah, the question is, what games do we not play? Let's see. My husband and I together have like to play Diablo 3. And it was really fun every time they would come out with a new season, because they have seasons where they update gear and stuff. My husband, myself, and his brother or my brother, we would just have like a Diablo new season night where it would kick off at like 7 or 8 o'clock. And our goal was to get to the max level, which was 70. Well, it wasn't really the max level, but that was like the easiest, was getting from level 1 to 70. And we would play all night till about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning until we all got to like 70 level, which was a lot of fun. But I can't after that, if a game becomes difficult, like I spend hours and hours on it and I only get a half level up or something, I lose interest very quickly. My husband's the consistent one. He can stick with that kind of stuff forever, and I just can't do it. Plateful. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, for the tripod thing. I had bought a tripod for my phone when I first started out. I can't remember the name of it. It was on Amazon, and it wasn't like a huge brand name or anything. And the problem with mine was it didn't tilt the phone all the way down, which was the main thing I needed. So when I got the webcam, I actually got this little holder that it's just this long piece that bends, and I've got it hooked up to the top of my desk, and then I can bend the webcam to different directions and try to stabilize it. And I tell you what, for YouTube, the YouTube video, yes, I am really happy with how this is turning out. That is one thing I'll say for Sharpie markers. What they have on the cap, I have found, is going to be a whole lot lighter than what actually goes down on the paper. So I said I was looking for kind of a darker green, and I couldn't find it. And this kind of gave me what I was looking for. So there you go. All right. So now I've kind of, oh, wait, no, I have leaves here. Hang on. We're about to get into I missed some pieces too. After this, we're about to get in that realm of, I'm just picking some random colors. But, oh goodness. Okay, so Dusty, we play Diablo 3. My husband is playing a lot more computer games than I am right now. Huh. Well, okay. Well, thank you so much, Grace, for dropping by. And I'll have to check out Playful. And I guess I'll see you next time. Take care. But my husband's on he's pretty much consistently playing games. And I kind of, oh gosh, Kathy, no, don't worry about that. This wasn't a set time. This really wasn't even something I had planned before this morning. And I was telling everyone else, for some reason, on one of the most stressful days I've had in weeks, my brain, instead of saying, okay, maybe you should just chill out for the day, my brain wants to go and say, oh, hey, let's throw something else into the mix. And I started thinking about live streaming today, and it wouldn't leave my brain. So that's how we're here. I'm just trying it out. So far, I'm really digging this. Like I said, the biggest thing is going to be finding a consistent time. And again, I will probably try to hit maybe like early or late afternoon US time. I know a lot of people would still be at work, but I think that will be the best time to avoid any kind of overlap, at least for right now. Now, once December comes around, I might actually try Thursday nights. So yeah, I am part of my local government, but I am not rerunning for my position, and those elections are in November. So for some reason, my city charter has the changeover for the government positions to be December 1st instead of January 1st. And trust me, if I could understand a third of why people did what they did back then, I would be doing pretty well. But anyway, so yeah, after December 1st, my Thursday nights are going to free up. So that will probably be the case at that point, but we'll see. Yeah, I think this counts as a leave too, so we'll just roll with it. My husband's a bigger computer gamer, like I said, overall than I am. And that's pretty much any hobby other than reading and apparently coloring. Usually I'll get really into the idea of something, like I'll decide I'm going to crochet or I'm going to do this or do that. And I'll get really immersed in something for a month, maybe 2 tops. And then I get bored and I shift to something else. And then I'll rotate back around to computer games during that time too. I'm not very consistent usually. Reading is the one consistent thing I do because it's what helps me actually go to sleep at night because I'm out of my own head. And I've always loved to read. I mean, I use my Kindle is probably the most used tech thing in our house. And we use our computer. I'm talking with our work computers and in my cell phone. That Kindle gets a whole lot more mileage because I am just constantly reading. And it's easy and it's quiet. So if I'm having insomnia issues and my husband's asleep, it's not like I'm going to start, loading the dishwasher or something and waking him up. So reading's a good quiet kind of thing I can do. And it's also helpful to, with the Kindle, I can put like a nighttime red tint to it. So that blue light doesn't contribute to keeping me awake. So it's a lot more relaxing to look at that instead of, say, like a normal computer screen at night, and probably more beneficial to me if I'm trying to go back to sleep. So in terms of favorite computer games, my husband plays a lot of RuneScape. Now, I'm not sure if you know what that is, Dusty. I bet you might. Years and years ago, when I was a substitute teacher, like way back in the day, one of my I was subbing for like 7th graders or 8th graders. I can't remember what it was, and or maybe it was freshmen in high school. But I had mentioned to the class I like playing computer games, and I had one of my students come up and say, "Have you ever played RuneScape?" And I'm like, "No, I've never heard of that." And he was talking about how much fun it was. And he said it's very similar to games like World of Warcraft or WoW, as it's referred to. He said, but it's got a free to play version that, you can go to certain parts of the world and just play for free. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll check that out. And I loved it. It is like the graphics back then, even now, they're nowhere near like World of Warcraft, but it's a fun little game. And I kind of leave and come back to it. You basically level up skills, you complete quests, and different things like that. Well, when my husband and I started dating, I had told him about it, and he was a huge WoW player back in the day, and he had to just stop it cold turkey because for people that are real serious playing those types of games, I mean, a lot of times that has to become their job and that was kind of what was happening with him. He was spending so much time there and trying to juggle work and sleep. And he said, I just had to quit it entirely. He is never really tempted to go back. It's just kind of an all or none thing for him. And I've tried it. I played it a little bit and it didn't keep me. I enjoy playing games like that with like my husband or my brother. But like by myself, I get bored pretty quickly with them. I'm more of a simulation kind of game player, and with no real winning scenario. You just can play forever if you want. That apparently is my kind of game. But I told my husband about RuneScape, and at first he was all like, "Yeah, I've heard about RuneScape, and it's not that the graphics are crude, and yeah, nobody plays this." And he has played that more than I think any other game in the last 3 years. He has maxed out, I think, all his skills except for Slayer and Dungeoneering, and there's about like 30 different skills. And that I showed him the game, and then I played it for 2 weeks because I got in the mood for it, and then left, and he just kept playing. He plays that. He plays Dream World a lot. I know he plays a lot of that. He is starting to play, I think it's called Warhammer. I keep wanting to call it Warframe. EverQuest. Yeah, I've heard of that one too. Oh, okay. Oh yes, I love Diablo 3. But like I said, my interest wanes pretty quickly with that kind of stuff. It's hard for me to sit there and just continuously grind for hours and hours on uh, killing monsters to level up, and then you only get like a quarter of a level, or you're looking for that one piece of armor to complete your set. And my husband can do that for weeks and weeks and weeks, and that makes him happy. It does not make me happy. After 2 weeks, I'm like, okay, this is tedious. I want to go play something else. Um, but yeah, those are kind of, his games. I think Warframe is not Warframe. I want to call it Warframe. It's Warhammer. I don't know why I want to call it that. But he has started playing that again with his brother and a couple of friends. And now let me make sure I got all the leaves. Actually, you guys are pretty lucky because when I color, normally I say, okay, this is going to be a purple sunflower with like pink leaves or something like that. And I've actually been pretty tame today, which is really pretty. I love how this is turning out. Now, let me see. Is this a metallic blue? No, it says sapphire. So I'm going to try a Bic marking. This time we're going off the grid. We're just picking colors that I think are pretty. This is a Bic marking in sapphire. So we're going to try it and we're going to see how this goes. And we shall see. Now, now the thing is to figure out where I'm going to use this. Let's do these little, I don't know if they're supposed to be leaves. I don't know what these are supposed to be. Ooh, this is a lot darker than I thought it would be. Oops. Well, the next one I pick up, I'll try to pick up something a little lighter. I don't mind just entirely dark colors, but that's really going to weigh this down. Oh goodness, it's covering up the line art too. See, I had some metallics, and I didn't think this one was one of the metallic ones, but I did notice the metallic ones cover up the line art a lot. So, oh well, it still looks pretty good, so we'll just keep with it. That was one set that I wasn't really happy with Bic marking, was the metallic set, and I think it's Bic. I don't think it's Sharpie. Because I was trying to use, it was like a metallic green on a picture, and it was just destroying the tip of the marker. Now, granted, it was Create Space paper, and it was a Jade Summer book. I mean, it wasn't like it was super smooth paper, but I mean, it just wrecked the tip of that marker, and I barely used it. And that was one thing I was pretty disappointed in. I don't know, this might be part of the same set. This one's not looking too bad. This is a smoother paper anyway. But yeah, so my husband, computer games are his thing. He loves nostalgic games too. He has a ton of regular Nintendo games. He's kind of a collector of those. And he plays them a lot. Super Nintendo, Atari, things like that. So if I break out any of those, that's just for nostalgia reasons. Like I played one of the games as a kid, and I want to just mess with it again just for fun. But there have been games that my husband and I both like to play. We liked Yoshi's Woolly World on the Wii U. We love playing that together. What is the name of that game on Steam? Battle Block Theater. My husband and I started playing that. I don't know how we wound up on that game, but it was so much fun. I love playing cooperative games rather. Oh yes, Super Mario. See, my Brent really likes it's called speedrunning, and it's people that play some of those games like Super Mario or Mario 3, and they're trying to get the record of the fastest completion time of the entire game. And they do Twitch streams and stuff like that, and my husband loves to watch those. And yeah, they do Super Mario a lot. The Mario games are pretty popular, but they're also the hardest to break into like the top 10 with. But I love playing cooperative games with my husband. We actually like playing Pandemic, as it's a board game, and it's also a cooperative game. And that's really good because I think he doesn't want to play a competitive game with me because he probably thinks I'm going to like just get really competitive because, it's not like I ever do that or anything. Mm-hmm. So we try to stick to cooperative games, and that's really fun anyway. We do a lot of that for our date nights. We'll put together a puzzle. We'll play like a co-op board game or a co-op video game together. And Battle Block Theater is a fantastic cooperative game. I have no idea how I stumbled on it, but I absolutely adored it. And I was really disappointed at the ending of it because I'm like, what the heck? And I'm like, I was looking for some closure and I don't think I got any. I like really silly games like that, Dusty. I also have to admit probably the game that gets the most playing time for me now. I used to play Sims for 10 years, I think, from like 99 to 2009. When Sims came out in 99, that was actually my freshman year of college. I think the only game I ever played was Sims. And if I counted up all the hours I spent, like, I wouldn't want to count up all the hours. I loved regular Sims. I loved Sims 2, Sims 3. Towards the end of Sims 3, I noticed that Sims 4 wasn't really going to add anything new. And I've started pulling away from it, especially a lot over the past few years. I'll pull it up to play a little bit when I get the bug too, but nah. But that was pretty much all I played for 10 years. It was nothing but Sims, but I love simulation games. And so therefore, here comes one of my biggest guilty pleasures. And this is going to sound so weird. And if you don't like computer games, I apologize. I know this is probably a boring subject for a lot of people, but again, this is something that I do a lot of, and I actually just haven't played much of anything lately. So there is this game, and you can get it on Steam, and it is called Prison Architect. Now, you know, you hear the title of a game like that, and you look, and it really is building and managing your own prison. So you get different level security prisoners depending on how you do your intake, and you have to manage them and make sure they're satisfied enough to not have like riots or end up, you know, if you have inmates that are snitches or whatever, you have to put them. Yes, Cassie. Yes. Okay. There are literally dozens of us. No, really. I know it's a really popular game. And I know you are all the ones of you that don't play this or play any computer games are probably listening to me and thinking, why would you like a game like that? And I don't know what it is. I think I've put more hours into that game than I have any others. And yes, hi, Cassie. I didn't get a chance to say hello here. So, see, okay. So in my videos, I talk about this a lot. Again, this is a nice little example of how my brain works. Now, I've watched enough coloring videos to know that when you color, especially when you're using like wet media or colored pencils that smear easily, you generally want to work the opposite of which hand you're using. So if you're right-handed, you want to start in the top left and work your way kind of diagonally like this. As you can see, I never do that. I think the whole time I've been talking, I've been coloring in like a clockwise direction. And so now I was in a position of, is this dry enough? Am I going to be wearing the sapphire? Which it's actually very pretty, but I wasn't planning on painting myself in a sapphire metallic permanent marker today. But I'm sitting here like, has it dried enough? And this is a constant problem. I can tell myself to do that, and I promise like 30 seconds later, it's gone. I don't know what it is. My brain, I'm one of those people where not as much anymore, but I've always been one of those people who's like, I have to have a plan, and there are rules, and there are things that we're doing, and we're going to do them in this order and that order, and we're not going to go outside the lines or anything. And when it comes to art and coloring, for some reason, and I guess that's why I love this so much, my brain wants to rebel. It's okay. Like, I'm actually okay with coloring sunflowers like I see sunflowers, you know, out in nature today. But most of the time, my brain's like, no, purple sunflower, pink leaves, you know, it's got to buck the system. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just rebelling through my coloring or something. But, oh my gosh, we are off on so many different things right now. But yeah, no, like I said, Prison Architect, I know some of you are thinking, okay, wow, that's kind of weird. But let me tell you, it is so much fun. If you like simulation games like SimCity and stuff, where you have to manage a group of people or a population or something and keep them happy and keep building and, you know, keep your traffic flow well and things like that. Prison Architect's a fantastic game for like simulation management. I have put hundreds of hours into that game, and I mean, the game's not a recent game. It's probably been years since they finished it, but I stick with it so much. Now, at some point, I will probably come back in with the blues, the yellows, and the greens. Generally, when I'm coloring a picture like this, I will put some initial colors down, and as I work my way outwards or inwards, I really try to keep like a balance of colors if I can. I also try to keep some white space if possible. So for right now, we'll just stick with this, and at some point when I'm 3 hours from now, when I'm in the middle of this picture, why did I say I was going to finish a picture on here? Why? I knew better. Well, I don't have anywhere to be right now, so we'll just keep rolling. No, I don't really want to do a pink. What do I want to do? Now, see, with my perfectly polished recorded videos, you don't have to hear all this rummaging around and dropping of markers and everything else. Ooh, yeah, let's do this. So I'm grabbing a Sharpie this time, and it's kind of this light purple. Now that I say that, though, if you remember earlier when I said that, usually what comes out of this is a lot darker than what it's showing. So it's probably not going to be as pale as I wanted it to be. Let me see if I can find a paler purple. Yep, not there. But yeah, while I'm mucking around with this, it's an older game. It's probably 4 or 5 years old at least. And I mean, they do some updates now and then, but they've really shifted a lot of their basic updates away from that towards some new games. But I will play that game for 100 hours. It will keep up with it. And then I'll quit for a while. And then about 6 months later, I'll pick it up and play another 100 hours. Nothing's really changing in the game. Man, you know what? I was talking about pink earlier. Let's just stick with some pink. Well, maybe I go with the Bic pink. This is a little more realistic looking. Another reason I like the Bics, their colors on their tops are a little more true to what's inside. Oh, here's one of the metallic ones I think I was talking about earlier, and I think that sapphire was part of this. This is the one set of Bics that I'm not thrilled with because it will cover up a lot of line art. And it's, you know, it's supposed to be metallic and shiny. And I mean, it's kind of shiny, but that's the only thing with Bic that I like the Sharpie golds and stuff a little bit better. And I don't think they cover up the line art. So we're going to go with a pink flamingo, which I think is a fantastic color name. So we're just going to roll with that. Yeah, see, I am normally not a pastel person. When I'm looking at the Facebook groups and I see people that, you know what, we're going to do the background with this. And I'm going to try to make myself go counterclockwise this time. Let's see how long this lasts, huh? Anybody want to take bets? Hi, Robin. Welcome. Yeah, we are seeing how live streaming is going to go. And so far, I'm actually pretty happy with it. But if anybody is asking me a question and wants me to finish a thought, they might have to wait a while. That's the case in real life too, though. So, I mean, you ask you ask my husband that, and he would agree with you. But yeah, we'll just stick with the pink. The yellow and pink's probably not the loveliest combo. But again, this is creative coloring. I didn't pick out any sort of palette. I decided to stick with how the colors that a sunflower normally is colored. And then I figured from there, I was just going to wing it. If I saw something and I liked it, we were going to use it. So, and again, this is funny because I am not a pink person. I'm not a pastel person. I so admire, if any of you can do that well, I'm sure there's some of you that color very well with pastels. I see so many people in the different coloring groups that will post beautiful pictures from like Nightfall and some of Dreamlings and A nice little town. Yes, those. But and they will just, it'll be just really soft pastel colors. And I'm sitting there like, oh, I wish I could do that. Because then when I go to color a picture, my brain's instantly like bold, bold, purples, oranges, greens, just as bold as I can get. And don't get me wrong, I love doing that. But at some point, I want to challenge myself and see if I can color a picture just using nothing but like soft pastel colors and then doing some shading with it to, really challenge myself with it. That should be fun at some point. I don't ever make plans anymore with coloring, guys, because because uh, if I do, inevitably I will not do it. Again, it's another rebel thing, I guess. If I make a plan, my brain is sitting there laughing at me because it's going, okay, no, you're not. This isn't going to be how this goes. And so that's why I said this. I'm just trying this out. I'm not going to sit here and plan anything at the moment, because the moment I do, something's going to happen where my plan's going to just get all mucked up. So I'll say I want to do all these different color alongs. And then by the end of the month, well, like last month, but that was a little more unusual too, because I went a couple weeks without really coloring. I had so many color alongs I wanted to participate in. And when I got back into wanting to color, I was like, oh my gosh. And I don't know why I'm obsessed with finishing them, before August 1st, if it's a month color along or a featured artist. And I laughed and joked with the Christmas in July one with the cats that Shalene might come and arrest me because I didn't finish it in July. She apparently commented and said, no, I'm good to go. So I guess she's going to make an exception for me this time. But I'll go back to prison. That is the game I go back to and play a ton of. And again, it's weird and I don't know why, but in terms of simulation games, I just love it. And it's relaxing. I'm sitting there focused on trying to manage a group of people. And like I said, if you like SimCity or any of those types of simulation management games, then you should try Prison Architect. I promise it sounds weird, but I think you will enjoy it. And I think it's pretty reasonable on Steam, especially if you catch it during like their summer sales and stuff. So, but let's see. The Fallout games is another big one. For those of you that do play computer gaming, I'm going to switch to another subject here in a second. But I do. I love my Fallout games. And I did not play a Fallout game until like a couple months before Fallout 4 came out. And I don't know what I was watching. We're going to leave those white for now. I had seen something. I'd seen a playthrough or something with it. And it's a post-apocalyptic type game, obviously, thus the name. And I am a post-apocalyptic fan. That is probably one of the biggest subjects I read about. Using Kindle Unlimited, I get a lot of those types of authors that wouldn't normally find it like a publisher. They maybe just be writing part-time or something. And a lot of them will do like zombie books and post-apocalyptic books. And I will eat them up. What a great pun, right? Zombie books, I'm going to eat them up. Oh my gosh. How long have I been streaming? Wow, an hour and a half. I am surprised. I'm actually surprised none of the cats have shown up. They sense it. They sense when I'm trying to record or do something, and they will jump up here and they will just scatter everything. But see, when I want to show them off, there's none to be found. So maybe another day. It's going to happen at some point, if not today. But no, I love post-apocalyptic books. And when I saw the Fallout games in like a playthrough, my husband had Fallout 2 on the Xbox, and I played it for like one night on the Xbox, and I said, "Oh no, I want this game," but I'm a PC gal. I'm not a console person, so I had to go and buy the PC game version, and I played that in Fallout Las Vegas. I think it's what it's called. was okay. I know a lot of people liked it better because it was done by a different group, I think, too. It was definitely different than the other games. I didn't really dig it as much, but I didn't start playing Fallout 4 till because I had to finish Fallout 2, and I never finished Fallout New Vegas. That's it. I never finished Fallout New Vegas because I hit the point where it's kind of like a choose your own adventure point where depending on what decision you make is going to depict how the rest of the game goes for you. And which that's, I guess, kind of the thing with all the Fallout games. And hey, well, no, I didn't quite get it because now anyway, whatever. I tried, guys. Fortunately, Sharpies and Bics dry really quick, so I have that going for me. But anyway, I think Fallout 5. No, it's not called Fallout 5. It's called something else. Anyway, I know that one's being talked about a lot. I don't know if it's supposed to be released this year or not. I do love Fallout 4, but and there's even they do have it where you manage like settlements and stuff, and you think, oh gosh. And see, that's my perfect computer game right there. Is a computer game where you have simulations, you have management like that, but you also have like quests and basically a bunch of different types of games rolled into one, and which would be incredibly complex to do. I think Fallout 4 tried to do that, and it's too much, even for me. So yeah, I love Fallout games. But again, Prison Architect has just been my go-to game these past few years. And now I've talked about it. Now I'm going to get an itch to play it. Hi, Lori, and welcome. And for anybody else that's popped in, hi. I know I did. This is kind of a surprise probably for some of you that are subscribed because I have made no mention of live streaming. And as earlier, I said the moment I start planning something, it will never happen. So my brain decided this morning that I should try live streaming for National Coloring Book Day. And this would be a perfect day to try it. And then my day got really stressful and I thought, no, I don't need to get on here. I was ready, it was like I was about to get on a plane to go somewhere and just give them a piece of my mind because I was so frustrated. And at that point I said, no, that would not be, I don't need to do that in live stream. So I had to take a bit of a break and a breather to color and apparently sing Queen. I don't know why Queen was my relaxing music at the moment, but it was, and various other things. But I got in the right mindset finally. And after I got back to work and everything worked out, then I thought, hey, I really am going to try this. And I'm not nervous anymore, guys. I was, and this is every video. I will sit here and almost talk myself out of any video, but then within the first 2 minutes, I'm fine. It's just that initial hitting the record button and pushing through, not trying to stop, re-record 50 times. But other than computer games and reading, coloring is definitely now probably one of my biggest go-to things. And art overall, but I just haven't had as much time for the art that I want to get into. Oh, that is awesome, Robin. I cannot tell you how happy that makes me. I have so the microphone I'm using is similar to, what's the really expensive mic? It's on it sits on a tripod, and I can't remember what the really expensive version is. It's like $100 or more. I'm thinking something like Polar or Arctic or something. Somebody may know. Anyway, it's like $100 mic. And don't get me wrong, guys. I love y'all. And recording has been a lot more fun than I could have ever dreamed. But I'm not going to spend $100 on a mic right now. I gotta have my coloring books, yo. And if I spend all the money on the video equipment, I can't buy more coloring books. I have to pick and choose. And my husband would disagree with that sentiment. But let me see here. How do I want to do this? Okay. But anyway, I will find the information, and here in a moment, I might go click. I ordered it through Amazon. I'll see if I can post a link or something. But this was a $20 mic. And when I first got it, I thought, I was having a lot of trouble getting good, clear sound with it. And probably the only reason it works really well now is because I'm sitting literally right next to it and leaning over to talk into it. And I've had to, some people were having sound problems, so I've really had to try to work with it, and I think I've got it. I went from fighting with my phone because it would eat videos, it would die from low battery. Yeah, I love my phone and I love the video it gives me, but it is, I fought that for months. Booktube. Well, now you've piqued my interest, Robin. What is that about? Okay, well, what I'll do is, if I don't remember to do it on this live stream, I will do. Can we message through YouTube? I think we can. I've never tried it. I will try to get that information, and if I can't do it here, I'll try to post it in the description on the next recorded video. And but I think I can just dig through my Amazon orders and find this stuff. But the mic was about $20, and it worked really. It's working out really well. I just had to bring it right over to my face, and I tried to use a headset, but then all you heard was like that horrible, like creepy, the killer's in the house type of sound when it would pick up all my breathing. And I was like, oh no, nobody wants to listen to that. And he's in the house, well, we're not doing that. But anyway, I finally got it figured out. And thank goodness my husband has headphones because I have to talk, a pretty decent level. My webcam is a Logitech. I think it's the 920 HD one. Killer's in the house. He's upstairs every time. But wait, I don't have it upstairs. Uh-oh. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, sorry. But yeah, no, it's a Logitech 920 is the webcam. I was watching Dee Dee's stream one day, and her and someone else were talking, I think, about the 720 version. And it was on sale on Amazon for, I think it was like $40, $60, something like that. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll look at something at about that price for at least the webcam side. But when I got on there, I found the 920 version, and I think it was $40 when I bought it. And I thought, well, shoot, I'm going to go ahead and get this because I am weak, and Amazon knows this. So I get that. And the camera itself is great. Like you see here, the picture, this is the best picture I've been able to get in a recording or anything. My phone does not even come close to this. And, but my webcam software is awful. So I probably need to play around and figure out something a little better. Weirdly enough, YouTube is giving me a better picture than the Logitech software. So that's why, like, some of the videos I've been positioning the camera in different spots just to try to find something that works without you having to squint to see what I'm coloring or have the coloring book practically shoved up your nose through the camera. So I think I've got a pretty good setup for recording now. The people that were having sound problems seem happy with it. And I haven't heard anything else. But guys, if there ever is an issue, please let me know. Hopefully I've got it worked out. I am so tired of fighting with my camera. And I'm just going to leave it where it's at and hope the cats don't decide to start trying to play with it. Because it's kind of hanging over on the little stand it's on. And maybe the next recording I do, I will okay. My brain was not seeing that section right. But so a couple weeks ago I had mentioned, when I was kind of on the hiatus type deal, yes, thank you so much, Lori. See, but now we've jinxed it. Now we've called it out. And we've talked about how awesome it is. So something is going to go wrong. And that is, if I could sum up my life in one sentence, that would be it. But hey, I guess it keeps things interesting. If you're a positive person, I guess we should try to look at it like that. But after Felix passed away, You know, and I was saying this earlier, and boy, that was like an hour ago when I was talking about this. With the other cats that I had that passed away, I would just be useless for about 2 or 3 days. I'd have to, kind of hang out on the couch and just sleep and just mourn, and grieve. And after 3 days, I could get up and be somewhat productive, but it would still take a couple weeks to really be able to do much. Well, this time, and I couldn't look at any pictures of them. I couldn't read any comments about them. I think even with Felix, you guys knew about Felix before most of the people in my Facebook knew. I don't know what it is. And maybe it's just because of like the comments and stuff you guys are leaving. You guys get it with the pets, and well, or at least you empathize. If you're not a pet person, it's still a whole lot different than a lot of people I know in real life. And I felt very reluctant to just say something about it because I was really thinking I was going to get well, it's only a cat comment, and I wasn't ready to handle it well, we shall say. Well, there's the cat. Excellent. Oh, see, look, this is actually kind of turning out okay. See, this is the great thing. Again, I have so much fun when I do this. I really need to start applying this to every page I color. Why don't I do that? While we're doing that. Okay, so we got like a pastel-y pink and a blue. We have green. Yellow and blue make green. We have like a pink and a yellow. See, I was taking some art lessons when I first really started coloring. And one of the things my teacher taught to me a lot about was color theory. And thank you, Lori. I appreciate it. Yeah, I know. Again, I'm not a pink fan. This is kind of like the owls situation. I say I don't like something, but yet I'm drawn to it. I say I'm not a big owl fan, but I have owls are probably in my coloring books. They're second only to probably cats, which is probably not surprising. But I say I don't like owls, but then I see a pair of earrings, and my grandmother had a pair of owl measuring cups that I still have, and like I'm weirdly drawn to them. It's like some subconscious thing that I don't feel like exploring right now. Lord. Sorry, Robin, I got completely off subject. I will look. Like I said, the webcam is the 920 Logitech HD. And when I bought it, it was $40. And then, like I said, with a microphone, you'd think it'd have a brand name on it. Oh, wait, it does. Oh, goodness. Fine. So, Fifine, maybe? It's on a tripod, and it's just like a microphone that stretches out towards you. And it's got only thing it has on is a little dial that controls the microphone volume. And I'm just going to, hey, we talked about pastels. Let's just stick with pastels. This is Summer Melon. So, hey, talked about it. Let's make it a reality. And you know what? It will be what it'll be. Let's see. Where do I want to put this? Oh, I know. We're going to work on these little lines here. Oh, goodness. All right. So I said I was just going to kind of roll with this for a while. And I know we're getting pretty close to the 2-hour mark. And don't get me wrong, I'm having a ton of fun. But probably here in a little bit, I'm going to have to go ahead and put a stop on this because, as I mentioned earlier, one of my close friends is in a local election today. There you go, Michelle. Use your words. And I think the polls close at 7, and it's about 20 till 5 now, Central Time. But I want to check in with him, see if he's going to be hanging around where the poll location is to see what the results are. And if he is, I'd like to go hang out with him and just support him one way or another. He is a fantastic person. Like, I know the classic thought about politicians is nobody ever likes a politician. he is one of the few people I've ever met that just, like, service is in his blood. His mom worked as a dispatcher for the local PD for years, and his dad was a volunteer firefighter as well. So he grew up around all of that, and he spends so much time researching and attending meetings, and he is great at listening to people and trying to find compromises and hearing all sides of an issue. And I told him, because, he's a little nervous about this, and he's won positions in our town, but this was for a county level position, which he really should take because he's going to be able to do a lot of good. He's really nervous about it, though, and so I want to encourage him on it. And honestly, I don't know of hardly anybody that is better suited to it than him. I think he would do a wonderful job. And so I want to be there and just kind of support him one way or another. And I need to check in with him and see how he's doing. My husband and I also did not discuss dinner tonight, so I'm under the assumption we're just going to kind of make it we call it a scrounge night, where either we get leftovers or some of us just eat like bowls of cereal for dinner. And not me, right? No, that couldn't be me. Hey, at least I'm not feeding the cat cereal. Though Oreo really loves cereal and chips. He likes anything crunchy. Oh, thanks, Debs. I appreciate that. Yeah, he's not, I call people, they're either listeners or they're cage rattlers. And he's not really a cage rattler type. He's a very good listener, and he just has a lot of heart, and he's kind of a quiet person. And he's so not what you would expect, but his heart is there more than I've ever seen anybody else, at least around here. And he really does try so hard. He goes to so many meetings. I don't know how he does it. And I've told him, I said, look, I don't have the level of dedication you do. I mean, I'll just be honest with myself now. But he does. This is really, that's really what he wants to do and what he loves. So I really hope, I hope tonight goes well. There's actually 2 seats, and there are 5 candidates, I think, running. Oh, goodness, Deb. Well, I am, in fact, on the city council. I'm about to have X in front of mine, too. My seat was up for re-election this year. I've only served 3/4 of a term. Somebody resigned right after they got elected, and I was through votes on the council. After everything was settled, I actually got the seat. So after about 3 years, and again, I'm not going to go any farther into like the details of this, but small town politics, you can only imagine. And you have a group of people that want things to change, and you've got the group of people that want things to stay the same. And after 3 years of fighting between those two groups, people are, and I don't know, this worries me about people as a whole as well. We all get so angry at so many things, and we all want so much to change. But good gracious, Deb, you're not living near me, are you? I don't think our mayor has mentioned any family. Boy, wouldn't that be something? That probably would, knowing my luck. But the thing is, and like I said, what I was saying earlier, people are just angry. They want to be angry about things, and they say they want things to change, but nobody really wants to put in any work. And so you get a few people that try. Oh yeah, no, yeah. Well, yeah. Hey, that's just across the neighborhood for me. I can right. But anyway, people are angry about stuff, and they want stuff to change, but nobody really wants to put in the work. And so then you get a few people who are actively working, and they have to shoulder the whole load because nobody else is helping. And that's not just a problem for my area. That's a city, state, country, region, world issue, I think, these days. Yep, just a hop and a skip. I can swim. So I'll just, I love to swim, so I'll just pop in the water and I'll see you here in about like what 3 weeks. That is a lot of swimming. But anyway, I was hoping that would be different with our community, and I was really excited at the beginning, and people were getting into it and motivated, and then you had 5 or 6 people trying to do everything and start everything, and the people that wanted things to stay the same knew this. They know this, and they know people will go get quiet eventually about stuff. And it's just I work from home, and before this year my job was kind of a no-brainer, so I could put more of my brain power towards stuff like that. My job's being restructured this year, though, and I am having to learn a lot of new programs on top of doing what I already do. And I just don't have the brain capacity to deal with it. And I've had a lot of health issues. My poor husband's sick of hearing about politics. Yeah, he hears that a lot because I get phone calls and stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, it's the best thing for me. I need my sanity back. And I have insomnia issues, and worrying about stuff like that just makes everything all the more difficult for me in terms of my health, because it just stresses me out more. So I don't know. I need to be real with myself and say, this is what I need to do for myself. And again, a nice little mini therapy session for the day. I know a lot of us do that. Especially with coloring, if you have kids or you have spouses and responsibilities, a lot of times you're like, oh no, I can't take time for myself. So we're sticking with a pastel palette here. And we'll go with Polynesian purple. We're still sticking with the Bix here. Well, guys, if I push it, I think I might actually be able to get this done. You know what? That's what we're going to do. We're going to try to get this done. I think I can do it. Yep, this is Polynesian purple. At first, I thought it said precocious purple, and I was like, oh, wow. Well, that's a fun name. I can't see well, apparently. But no, what I was going to say is a lot of times a lot of us don't think we can take time for ourselves. We want everybody else we want to be able to take care of everybody else in our lives. And the idea of just taking time for us or doing something that's just for, yourself is very hard. It's been hard for me to do. And I've been trying to fight. I had to go to therapy for a number of years. I suffer from just a good mix of anxiety, depression, insecurity, trauma. Like it's pretty much like a grab bag of fun issues. But I had to go to therapy for a period of time. And even years later, I'm better off than I was, but it's still an issue. And that's something I think everybody faces. And this is one of those situations where I wanted to help the town. I wanted to help my friends and the people I know in this community. But it was getting to the point where it was really hurting me health-wise, life-wise. I was having health issues anyway, and that certainly has not helped. And between that, I like my job, and I like being able to work from home. So my job should take precedence over this. Again, in the past, it wasn't an issue because I didn't really have to learn anything much at work. It was just kind of go in, do the same thing every day. And it was boring. I kind of liked the challenge of being involved with the city, but I think I would be better served just picking a couple organizations that I really believe in. Like we have a local food bank, our local marching band for our high school. They're really awesome. And I've gotten to know the band director there really well. Just pick a couple areas that I really feel strongly about. I feel like I can do so much more good through that and in my own time. Actually, with coloring, I was just thinking about this. We have an assisted living place here in town, and which we have a nursing home as well. And I've thought about this with them. But the assisted living place, they do a lot of things like bingo nights and different theme nights and stuff. I'm almost wondering if I could bring some supplies with me and maybe get a few people coloring with me. I just thought about that. I was talking to the director there the other day. Now, that's one thing I will say that I don't regret any of what I've done the past few years because I've met so many more people. I am a social hermit like nobody's business. Now, I can talk your ear off once I get to know you. So I know you're listening to me and you're going, yeah, there's no way you talk too much. But see, I talk too much to the few people that I like to, that I talk to. And apparently you guys, I can tell you guys stuff that I don't tell most people. Like, I don't, only my friends and family know about my channel right now. And it's not that I'm embarrassed about it or anything. This is mine and I want to keep it. I want to keep it for me, I guess, and something I can share with people that are close in my life. So, and I have a lot of people I've met online. I've had a blog and a website for years. And with it, I met so many different people that I'm going to have to take a road trip one of these days and meet them all because I have one in Alabama. I have one in North Carolina who may be the first one I go see. I don't know. She may have even gotten on here. Now, she does know about my channel, and her name is also Michelle. And if she was here, she'd let me know. But I absolutely adore her. She is the sweetest lady. Oh, my goodness, people. I have to show you. See, I said I was going to get this done. Look what's happening. I can't help it. Sorry, guys. My chair is really squeaky. Oh, my gosh. Sorry, and I'm shaking the camera. I have to show you guys this. So I've known her probably, let's see, I started my blog in 2003. So I've known her about 15 years. And I still update my blog every now and then. And she also had a blog. If any of you know what Live Journal is, that's what we were on way back in the day. And we called it journaling, not blogging. I said blogging. People got really upset over that for some reason. Anyway, we've actually stayed really good friends over the years, and we've, talked on Facebook a lot. And a couple months ago, probably about a month, probably in June, I think, I got a couple Amazon boxes at my door. Now, again, Amazon knows I have a problem. I promise it's not that serious, guys. I don't know. Ask my husband that question. No, it's not bad, but I just think it's hilarious. What's bad? Oh, okay. I think, Robin, I might have missed a conversation there. I don't know if the chat dropped or something for me. Maybe. If I missed something, I'm sorry. But yeah, Robin and Dusty, I'll put together all the different things that I use and I'll let you guys know. Now, for the video editing software, I have Sony. Oh, bye, Robin. Yeah, you're going. Okay. Bye, Robin. Thank you so much for coming by. And like I said, I'll find a way to post all this information and hopefully it'll help you out because, yeah, I really like my setup now. So, but with the video editing software, I think it's called Sony Vegas. Now, I use that, and that's a fairly expensive piece of software. And the only reason I have it is because my brother got it in one of those boxes we were talking about earlier, like Scrawler box and stuff. There is like a geeky gaming one, and I can't think of it. I thought of Loot Crate, I think is what it's called. It's one of many. Anyway, he subscribes to one of those, and he got a subscription to this program one month, and he doesn't really use it. And when I was telling him, and I'm shaking the camera now, fantastic. When I was telling him about my channel, he said, well, you would use this more than I would. So I got this piece of software. He gave me it's my program now. I think I'm going to fill in with purple right here. So I'm pretty lucky with that. I have no idea really how to use it. So here's the thing, okay, sorry, Robin. Yeah, sure, no problem. Like I said, I'm actually surprised that I haven't been interrupted myself with a cat or something. They are being oddly quiet. And, well, okay. See, now I'm getting wiggly. No, I'm fine. But, completely lost what I was saying. Okay, well, it'll happen here in a moment. I'm sure I will remember. But what I was talking about. So my blogging friend, Michelle, journaling friend, I got Amazon boxes, and about a month ago. Again, nothing unusual here. And I'm telling you, that's the only reason I can live in a small town right now. I grew up in this area, and I do not like really heavily urban areas except to go visit. Like, I love New York City, but after 3 days, I'm like, okay, I got to go. I love to travel, and I love visiting places like that, but I wouldn't be able to live there. It's too much. For me, it's just a little overwhelming. Now, if I lived there, I would probably get used to it. But in my current state of mind, I wouldn't. It would take a long time to get used to it. I'll see. Look what I'm doing. I'm starting down here with the purple. See, guys, that's my brain. But anyway, this is why at night I will look at my hands if I've been coloring, and I'm like, where did that come from? And then I have to think back, and I'm like, oh yeah, I used that color, and of course I put my hand on it. And I'm surprised I don't smear or smudge anything more often than I do, because I also forget to put like little sheets under my hands too. Like, I should be probably doing that right now, and I'm not. I just whatever. Hey, if it smudges, we'll just roll with it and try. I'll make smudges everywhere so that it looks like I did it on purpose. That's the way to do it right there. If you make what you think's a mistake, just make it all over the page and call it inspiration. But it's bad. I live here in a small town, and we have an unusual selection. An unusually diverse selection of restaurants and shops and stuff, which I wish more people locally would go visit and support. But so we're pretty good in that regard. But anything technology-wise, anything that would require like going into a Michael's or a Best Buy or any kind of technology store or art supply store, those are at least 40 to 45 minutes away, if not an hour, depending on which direction you go and how crowded it is. I think I'm going to do it in this area too. And so yeah, I don't like driving that much. That commute to Nashville for 4.5 years just killed me in terms of driving. If I have to drive somewhere longer than like half an hour, I don't want to. Which is kind of weird considering where I live. But see, that's the beauty of Amazon, because we can order something there and we're Prime members, so we get it a couple days later. And that has kept me here in this town. If I did not have Amazon Prime delivery, I probably wouldn't. I would have to move somewhere with a more variety of stores, because we always need something random. I actually order my cat stuff online too. Oh my goodness, guys. Okay, so I've totally got to tell y'all this too, but I'm going to hold on to that, because I have like 5 different subjects going now. I may save that for a recorded video. I have to tell you guys about my recent experience with Chewy. Every time I go to record a video, I've recorded like 3 or 4 videos this week that for some reason I didn't want to post. And so I've probably repeated myself about 5 different times on stuff. And now I can't remember what I've told you and what I haven't in the videos I actually put up. So I don't know why. It's just when I got done recording them, I wasn't really feeling it, or I was wore out and I had to wait for it to render. And I was like, yeah, no, I'll just do something different tomorrow. But I got to color, so that was the best part of it, right? And it's bad with Amazon. And I think I told you guys this story at the start of one of my videos. We have our mailman delivers stuff. We get deliveries from also UPS and FedEx. And I guess basically it just depends on which carrier's the cheapest for whatever we're ordering from whatever company. And The driver's changed out a lot. Our postman's pretty consistent. He's awesome. Like I never have an issue with any of the packages I get on his end, and he's such a nice guy. Like he's that the postal service here in the US for me is the best option for shipping stuff right now compared to the other experiences I've had. But with UPS now, I get all my packages and they're in good condition. But you know what's bad when the UPS driver catches you outside one day as he's putting boxes on your porch after Amazon Prime Day, I will say. And he says to you straight to your face, you need to stop buying stuff from Amazon. I was like, excuse me, in my head. I mean, I try not to be too confrontational in real life. Though you catch me on a bad day and I can't guarantee that. But I'm just sitting there like, oh my God. Sorry, but actually I was thinking a lot of other stuff, but I'm not going to say it. But my husband was out there with me and the guy goes back to his truck and I look at my husband, I'm like, did he just say what I thought he said? He's like, yes. And he's like, oh, he was probably just joking, you know? And see, that's the thing. I can be awkward in social situations. And if I was a delivery driver, I would probably make like the most not inappropriate jokes, but I would make like the most awkward jokes ever. And I would think I'm trying to be funny and people would take it seriously. I've probably been in that situation. So when my husband told me that, I was like, okay, well, I can give him the benefit of the doubt on that. But the more I thought of that, the more I was just like, oh my gosh, we're not that bad. I mean, we are, but I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure being a delivery person is not the most enjoyable job at times, particularly in Tennessee summers like this. I mean, I get that. But oh my goodness, like, now see, what's funny though, is I have less of an issue with him because our packages from UPS show up almost always in good condition. I have less of an issue with him than I do my FedEx person. And our FedEx person, it's been slowly getting worse, but for the last few years, did I leave that yellow out? Yes, I did. I do too, Lori. I am trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I really am. Because again, I know how awkward I can be. I think I'm just going to throw in some yellow here. I know how awkward I can be. And he may have just been trying to make a joke. And he might have gotten in the truck and just been like, oh my gosh, you shouldn't have said that. So you know what? That's fine. That's fine. I'm just going to think he was joking. And we're just going to leave it at that. Besides, like I said, the packages I get are in good condition. It's not like, you know, he's taking it out on us or anything, or at least I would suspect. Now, our FedEx guy or gal, I don't know. That driver changes a lot. Again, we're a pretty decent drive from Nashville. So my assumption is they pick up the packages in Nashville and like UPS probably starts their day as far out as they need to go and work their way back in. I think FedEx probably does the opposite because we get their stuff later in the day. And I haven't met the current driver, and it's been slowly getting worse over the past few months. Chewy uses FedEx a lot. And the last couple of weeks, I've gotten boxes. Yeah, exactly, Lori. I mean, I don't want to be snotty. I don't want to sound awful about it and be like, you know, well, he has a job because of this. You know, I'm not trying to make it sound like just, you know, like I'm just so offended by it. But I mean, that would be like me. I do email marketing. That would be like me telling one of the programs I work with, you send too many emails. You've got to stop sending emails. Or you need to stop sending emails. I mean, I wouldn't have a job if I did that. And see, I don't even joke about that at work. So, because I know somebody would think I wasn't joking. But the last few weeks, Chewy uses FedEx a lot. And about a week and a half ago, I got a shipment from them. We do like an auto ship. I get all my cat stuff through Chewy, which again saves our backs because we get our litter and stuff delivered that way. I love Chewy, by the way. And I'll explain why even more here in a moment. Our the Chewy packages that I got like a little bit under, it was right out a week ago. They looked like they had been mauled by tigers. The box was ripped. The bottom part had given way, and there was like a bag of litter hanging out. Fortunately, these are pretty tough bags of litter, so it didn't bust. Thank goodness. Oh gosh, Dusty, if you do decide on a coloring channel, please tell me, because I wish I had so many more hours in the day. I love catching up with all the other channels, especially when I'm working. And that's one of the problems with like finding live streams during the day when I'm working or trying to work, for that very reason, because I end up not working so much and actually talking more. And I know that probably sounds like a shocker at this point. Me talk too much. But they looked like they had been chewed to pieces. And I'm sitting, like I said, there was stuff hanging out the bottom of the box. One of the bottom pieces of the box was like hanging off the porch. And of course it had split from the tape. And the top part was busted open. The tape wasn't sealing it. And I was like, oh my gosh, how did you get it? First off, how did he get it on the porch that way without the bag falling completely through? And how can you leave a box sitting like that and not at least knock on the door? I mean, we have 3 vehicles and they're all at home every day. And that's the one person that doesn't ever knock on our door. And I'm like, surely you realize that someone is here. You could at least knock, maybe. And it's not like he has a big trek from where he parks his vehicle. I saw him deliver one today, and he actually rolls up in our yard and brings it to the stoop. But see, here's the thing. I'm perfectly okay with that, because those bags of litter are heavy, and I know that. And that's why I don't want to pick them up, because I have back issues. I get that. And I would never ask him to park at the end of the driveway and have to walk, a bunch of steps carrying those types of boxes. And so I'm fine with him parking in the yard. Whatever he needs to do, as long as he's not ripping up pieces of my yard, I'm good with it. But I just don't know how you managed to get on the porch like that without everything falling out of the bottom. Oh, that was FedEx, Robin. And see, what's funny about the story is I know Anne at A Colorful Life has been having mailman issues. And I think Samantha Oswald, I can't think of what her channel is actually called, or maybe it's her name. She was just talking in a video last night, or one I watched last night, where she got some Black Widow pencils. One of the tins she got had been dented. And I can't remember if she said it was her mailman or something. And it's like, as soon as this thing happened with FedEx, all of a sudden, oh, awesome, Dusty, please do. But as soon as that happened with FedEx, all of a sudden I hear that everywhere. Like, it seems like but what's weird is it's not just FedEx or it's not just UPS. It just seems like I heard all this all of a sudden. Now, this could be a situation of you don't pay attention to something unless you're already aware of it. And then all of a sudden it seems like it's everywhere. There's a name for that, actually. And I would go Google that if I wasn't feeling lazy at the moment. But yeah, there's actually a name for that, and I can't remember what it's called. Anyway. All right, let's see. Okay, we've done yellow. Wow, this is actually looking pretty good, guys. See, look, I challenged myself with pastels today, and I'm sitting here holding the thing I was going to show you like 20 minutes ago. I'll get back to that, I guess. Did I throw this one back in the box? I bet I threw that marker back in the box. Oh boy. Well, we're gonna make a guess. Actually, I think that one's it. No? Yes. We're gonna act like it's it if I can't find it in like 5 seconds. No, it's this one. Excellent. Yes, Michelle, when you were trying to use colors throughout a picture, you probably want to keep the colors out so you can get them later. All right, let's see. Mm-hmm. We'll act like these kind of look like leaves, so we'll just roll with them. Yes, it is the same color. Yay! I mean, no big deal, but yes. Oh goodness. So yeah, Robin and Dusty, with the whole book thing, I need to talk about books more when I'm coloring, because I've been trying to think of, like, I've been wanting to do videos where I talk about some of the books I've read, but I can barely do what I'm doing right now. And it's like, I never seem to find time for it. So I'm going to have to roll all that in together somehow. I'll figure it out. But anyway, oh gosh, rolling all the way back again. So yeah, I saw that box and I was just like, wow. And the other box wasn't much better. There was this huge gash in the side of the other box. And I am livid. I mean, it's been a horrible 2 or 3 weeks anyway. With the whole deal with Felix passing away, my parents have been moving, restructuring of my job, no sleep. It was just all piling together towards the end of last week. And I was having this ongoing stomach issue where I was having a health issue where I had an upset stomach. I was terrified to eat because I couldn't figure out what was causing the issue. And I went to the doctor and he gave me heartburn medicine because that's what we just assumed it was. And it did nothing. And it was kind of just a roll of the dice where if I didn't eat, I would feel sick. Sometimes if I ate, I would be fine. Sometimes if I didn't. Sometimes if I ate something, it would bother me once and then it would bother me another time. Robin, let me see if I'm subscribed to your channel. Yeah, set. Okay, I can't do that from here. Evidently, I'm not allowed to do like I can do in a stream. Oh, you're talking about your blog too. Robin, do you have the... Oh, okay, where'd my chat go? There it goes. Hi, Candy, and welcome. Oh my goodness, it's 5:15. You know, we are going to finish this. So if you guys are still here, thank you so much. I hope you are coloring or having fun doing whatever it is you do. Maybe you're looking up Prison Architect on Steam. I don't know. And if you are, I say good luck to you on that one, because try to juggle that with coloring and it's going to be a challenge. But yes, hi Candy and welcome. Robin, did you mention the name of your blog? Are you on like WordPress or anything like that? Oh, okay. Yes. I'm actually on WordPress as well. I'm using my blog site is whencatsattack.com. I've had that domain for years and I just cannot part with it. But the blog is kind of sporadic. I've been putting some coloring stuff on it here and there, but I don't update it as much as I should. But it's hosted by Bluehost. Like I have my own domain and storage space, but I run WordPress through that and I do follow some blogs on there. So yeah, Robin, if you use WordPress or something like that, please let me know, because I will be glad to follow your blog. I'm all about some new books. But I had to take pictures of those boxes. I was so mad. And yes. Okay, perfect. Actually, guys, let me type this up, because I can go back and watch my own live stream. Oh my goodness. Yes, sorry. Yes, Robin, I will go check that later tonight, and I'll definitely follow. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And yes, Dusty, if you do a channel or a journal, well, not a journal, blog, let us know as well. Yes, Blogspot. I used that for a number of years, and I just kept the domain name because I wasn't really updating it all that much. And then I got a wild hair, and you're like, what? I got motivated to pick it back up again, and I used the free WordPress version for a while, and I liked it, but I missed having my own hosted place where I could just kind of do my own thing. So I went through Bluehost and got some website type stuff or I got storage space, and I got my domain, of course. I just haven't been able to part with that one. That was in 2003, when I started on LiveJournal, that is the name I came up with, and that is what I have stuck with for like 15 years, and I just can't part with it. Actually, I'm really surprised. I don't know why I didn't name the channel WinCat Stack. Probably because nobody would be able to tell that it involves coloring from the name. So, yeah, I'll call them the Meowers of Death. You'll hear that. All right, so keeping with our pastels. Wait, didn't I? Yeah, I used Summer Melon. I just put it right back in the box. Whew, goodness. I don't know what's going on with me today. Okay, I really want to leave the box part white. So, see, we got this middle piece too I'm trying to think about. Okay, I'm going to do the ring in the melon to kind of match these little rings out here. We'll do that. And I had to go so going back to the like chewed up boxes, and thank you for posting that, Robin. Like I said, I will check that out later. And anybody that I am constantly adding new channels to subscribe to, as long as I can remember to hit that stupid little bell thing so I get notifications, because a lot of times I have to go back through and make sure I've done that, because otherwise I may never get a notification if you do post. But if you have a blog or a channel or anything, always feel free to mention it on here. I mean, don't, run in caps and post it 20 times on here. Let's be reasonable. But 132 reviews. Oh my goodness, Robin. So that is awesome, because I, for some reason, got motivated to sit down and count how many books I was reading in a year. Because like I said, I was using Kindle Unlimited a lot. And the thing is, you find some diamonds in the rough when you do that. Like, I found some fantastic authors and books that way. And but you also, it's kind of a roll of the dice, right? Because a lot of these authors, they wouldn't have been published otherwise. Maybe they write part-time or something. And some of them, like, they don't have any sort of editing process. So even like stuff spelled wrong and things like that. But this is the thing. If it's a good enough story and you got a good enough plot and you're fleshing out the story well enough, I can look past misspellings. I can look past grammar issues. It's just when the story starts falling apart is where those kind of jump out at me more. But yeah, no, like I said, please feel free to share. I am always about, like I said, I really should use my blog more often. I only have so much time though. And when I don't sleep, I really don't want to do anything but read. One year, see, I colored that. Well, whatever. Oh, darn. They're the same color. Well, lost the chat again. Hopefully not forever. Oh my gosh, we're at 2.5 hours. Okay. Well, hopefully I didn't lose it. Maybe YouTube has a limit. I'm not seeing the chat window, guys. So it's done this before. Let me give it a minute, see if it pops up. If it doesn't, I may have lost you and I may have to restart. YouTube's like, no, 2.5 hours is too much. There it is. Awesome. Yes, Robin. Oh, that's awesome. I counted how many books I read last year, and it was in the 170. No. Yeah, it was 160 range last year. I can't remember. I went through the trouble of a spreadsheet. Dang it, this chat window. Oh, okay. Now, see, that's pretty cool. What's going up with my chat window here, y'all? It keeps flashing. Well, let's see. It's almost 5:30 my time. Traffic might be building up on YouTube a little bit. And again, we've been going like 2.5 hours. So it might just be YouTube's like, you've had enough. But we're going to finish this, darn it. I am committed now. This is a promise I made I am going to stick to. And it's been fun. I mean, that's the thing. This isn't tedious by any means. I wouldn't want to get up and do anything else right now if, there is adulting and responsibilities, but I don't really have anything pressing at the moment. So we'll just stick with this. I would have stayed and finished coloring this picture anyway. So why don't I do it while I'm getting to chat with you guys? If the chat window will quit blinking on and off. Ugh. Let me give it a couple of minutes. Is anybody else having trouble with the chat window, or can you not hear me or anything? If so, let me know and I will try to see it whenever it blinks back. If not, I will end the stream and then pick up on another one, but we'll give it a few more minutes. I don't know. Like I said, 2.5 hours might be YouTube's limit on one stream. Well, there it goes. Okay, perfect. Chat fades when someone doesn't chat for a few. Oh, see, but well, that's the thing though. You guys are talking more now. Like it's almost like it's blinking out the more chats that is coming through. So again, it's probably just a surge in traffic with US people. Hi, Kayla. Yes, you did catch me. I said I was going to finish a picture today on camera, and we were at 2.5 hours, and you see how much I've accomplished. But I am going to finish it. We're so close, guys. This is awesome. Thank goodness I don't have a meeting tonight, because then I would have had to already cut this short. That's awesome, Kayla. Yeah, I was just talking about that. I don't know if your channel's on April's, Sarah, her channel. She has a document that shows a number of color tubers. I feel so weird saying that, even to this day. It has a number of color tubers, and it shows like their channel, their Facebook pages, if they have them, and like what time they normally live stream. And when I was looking at that, I noticed Thursday nights are pretty open, at least for the people on there. I don't know of a lot of people that stream Thursday nights. So after November, I might start doing Thursday nights unless somebody else is already on it. So Kayla, what I've been talking about, I guess my current main topic, we've been talking about a lot of different things. Let me tell you, if you wanted a distraction, if something has been troubling you or stressing you out in your life, or with whatever's going on in your life, I've always said that's why I do Carefree Coloring, and I will prattle on about anything and everything. And the thing is, if you don't want to have to deal or think about the things that are going on with you, you can just listen to the craziness that is my life. And maybe you'll think, okay, some of y'all might think, okay, well, it's not as bad as I thought. I'm actually doing okay. So what we've been talking about, Kayla, and anyone else that has hopped on, I was just about to say that I think it got fixed, and then it blinked again on me. Oh well, we'll push through it. At this point, unless it just freezes completely, it comes up long enough so I can keep up with y'all. So I hate to stop and start this for like what should be for a normal person, like another 10 or 15 minutes, but the rate I'm going, it might be another half hour. No, actually, I think we're doing pretty good here. All right. I could probably leave it as is, but I don't want to. I want to do something different. We got a fair amount of pink. I do want to keep... Oh, there goes. Yes, thank you so much, Dusty. Great reminder. I try to do that every time I go to watch a video. I always try to like it. Yes, Kayla, I try very hard. The first few videos, and I think this is the case with everybody that starts a channel, you get really nervous from the onset, and you're like, I'm scared. I'm really nervous. I don't know how to act. And that's me in a nutshell. I've said I have social anxiety issues. I love having a handful of people to talk to. But when you put me in a big room full of people I don't know, like at a party or something, I am almost suffocating. I have to get outside. I can't handle it. But a small group of people like this is where I thrive. This is what I love. And the thing is, once you get to know me, then you're going to be like, oh my gosh, can you take a breath sometimes? So, yep. And Robin, I think I like those. And that's another thing with the coloring community, especially here on YouTube, that most of the ones I watch, unless they're trying to do like, you know, an actual tutorial, and even then, so many people are personable as it is. And I think Petey Hewitt was the very first YouTube coloring or art channel that I followed. And I love her videos. Now, she's not chatty a lot. She's more about tutorials and talking about like the techniques she's using and stuff. And she's really awesome. And I love some channels for that. But then, and you know what's funny? When I, yeah, I know, Kayla. I when I was watching your live stream the other day, and I was so glad I actually caught one. I was sitting there like, oh my goodness, yes, this will be. You know, we'll know each other just fine. Yeah. How'd your yard sale go, by the way? Were you successful? And have you moved yet? Were you able to move? I guess is what I want to ask. But okay. I'm going to finish the story because when this picture's finished, I'm going to have to stop. And I don't want to leave on a cliffhanger. I do that all the time. There's probably about 20 cliffhangers I've put in terms of if you were to put my conversation in a maze, there are so many different lines that have split off at this point. There's so many open-ended things. I don't know. One day I will probably get them because I will repeat myself. Oh, I'll probably do that a million times. Let's see. Gosh, guys, this is pretty close. Actually, I want to find the sapphire, and I want to do something with that. Because like I said, I hate to just put one color in here and call it. There. I like to use them throughout pictures. If you notice the types of pictures I've colored. I had a reminder come up on my calendar for what was supposed to be a meeting tonight, and it was a 30-minute thing. And oh no, I'm so sorry, Kayla. Yes, I hate yard sales. I did one a few years ago to help raise money for a local nonprofit, and I was out there with this yard full of stuff at 5:30 in the morning trying to get everything set up, and I was like, no, life's too short for this. I did it once. I will never do it again. I'm good. I would rather use like a for sale site if it's a bigger item, and then a lot of times if I can. Now sometimes you have to have yard sales for stuff, but if I can, I would rather just maybe kind of donate to charity if I could or something like that. So we're going to go back in with this sapphire blue on the Bic marking. This is Flower Mandalas. It's a Creative Haven book, by the way. In honor of National Coloring Book Day, I tried live streaming, and it has went splendidly. And this is to go along with Dover Month. Oh. Well, see, Kayla, we were talking about that earlier. The thing is, no matter what you do, no matter how positive or inoffensive it seems, or innocent, or whatever you're doing, there are going to be people out there that just want you to be miserable along with them. And that's going to happen with everything. And the thing is, if it brings you joy, then, and you're not hurting anybody, you're able to live your life and just be, then, oh, thank you for posting that. I knew you guys were doing a color along too, but I couldn't remember like what the time frame was for it. I knew they weren't like month-long ones. So yeah, I will mention that probably, wait, what's tomorrow? Friday. So I guess I need to try to do a flip through Friday. Yeah, no, I'm going to mention that one as well. And I'll go back and update the description for the color alongs I mentioned last night in the recording, so people can see that in the description and know what's what. But yeah, no, Kayla, that really sucks. And I hate it. I was saying earlier that the only dislikes I haven't been paying much attention, but the dislikes I've seen have all been on the things that you would think would be the most inoffensive videos. I've had dislikes on creative coloring. I've had dislikes on the giveaway from a couple nights ago. And I'm like, really? Of all the videos I do, of all the weird things I say, or do or whatnot, why those videos? Those are the most innocent ones, right? So, Caleb, seriously, like, I mean, if it brings you joy to do your live streaming, please keep doing it, because I love it when other people live stream, and every time I am in one, I think, could I do this? And then I'm like, see, I can't walk and chew gum at the same time, guys. And that was my biggest concern with this was that I was going to never get a picture colored. And see, that's why we're doing Carefree Coloring tonight, because if this had required any extra work, no, I couldn't have kept up with both. Maybe as I do this more, I'll get used to it. Who knows? I'm just going to clean up a little. But Kayla, if it brings you joy and you love to do it, yep. And you love to do it, it makes you happy, you're not hurting anyone from it, then these people don't live your life. Then, you know, it's hard. There are people that just want to. Oh boy. I knew it was too quiet. Magellan is one of our most, he has the most personality out of most of our cats. And while that can be a good thing at times, he is also a little bit of a trial at others. But, let's see. Oh, okay. Well, Kayla, yeah, at this point, there are a lot of miserable people in this world. And sorry, you guys have already heard me say this. This is like the personal, boy, I cannot use my words right now, evidently. This is my personal inspiration message for you today. There are a lot of miserable people in the world right now. Okay, Kayla, you know, drama happens all the time. I appreciate that. But I did want to tell you, like I've said to anybody else and anybody else that might be struggling, it could be anything that people are giving you a hard time about. I was talking about earlier, because Kayla, about the fact that if you guys haven't watched any of my videos, I have 11 cats. And I said for years, when people would ask me how many I had, I would just respond with too many, because I didn't want to give them a number. I knew what their reaction would probably be. It didn't matter that I could take care of them. It didn't matter that, you know, my husband and I were happy. We don't have any kids, but we both work and we can spoil them. And they're well taken care of. We're well taken care of. We have a huge old house for them to to run in and aggravate each other. And for the size of the house, they still love to stay in the same room together so they can squabble. They really are like children at times. And that goes for dogs, ferrets, pretty much anything. But the thing is, Kayla, like with that, I know people are going to judge me on that. And people are going to people are miserable. And if you are showing any sort of happiness, they have to rain on your parade, because it helps them feel better about their own lives. And at the end of the day, you've just got to be like, if it makes you happy and it brings you joy, then screw it. I mean, I was going to say something else, so we'll just settle with that one. You know, so, and I'm not telling anybody to just let it roll off, you know, your back. That's hard to do. Heck, I still can't even do that to this day. When I get that look, when I say how many cats I have and I get that look. And, oh gosh, am I stalling? Is that what I'm doing? I think I'm stalling. I think this is almost done. Really, there's only one little thing I want to do, and I think I'm pretty much done. But yeah, I guess that's a good thing to end today on, as a good note. Oh, to round out. Yep, absolutely. So while I'm doing this, though, I am this is a good subject to end with, but I joked earlier about not leaving people on a cliffhanger. And if I don't get this story out about Chewy and FedEx, then I will. And the thing is, guys, I will probably repeat this entire story about 2 recordings from now because I won't remember that I actually talked about this in a video you saw. So if I do, I'm really sorry. But I gotten those just chewed up boxes from Chewy, which isn't really a feature that they market with. So I don't think that was intended. But I have been ordering from them since about 2013, and things have just been slowly getting worse. We've been getting more cans that are dented in cases. Fortunately, none of the bags of litter have ripped, but I feel like it's only a matter of time the way the boxes are looking. Yes, Kayla, I am so sorry. We talked about that the other day. I put your information on a little sticky note on my computer, and I have not had a chance. I try these days. I'm trying really hard to stay off Facebook, yeah, no, it's just been a busy week. But yes, no, I will add you. If not tomorrow, then definitely this weekend because I should have some downtime this weekend. I hope. I hope. All right. What was I doing with the yellow? Oh yeah, I was touching up. All right. Which one do I want to use? So I'm gonna just do these little squares. I know that seems like you're like, that's not a big deal. But yeah, no, it's bugging me. I want to finish it. I want to do something with it. I don't feel like it's quite finished. Just trying to figure out which color I want to use. What have I not used a lot of? Got the melon. We got the green. Let's use the pink. That's fine. But so yeah, I've been ordering from Chewy since. Is this what I used? Yeah. Okay. It was going on darker, and I was not that it would really matter, I guess, but so I've been ordering from Chewy since like 2013, and like I said, things have just been slowly getting worse. And with the way the boxes are coming in, I feel like it's only a matter of time I'm going to start getting stuff missing. And yeah, Kayla's having a giveaway too, guys. I think I mentioned it on my giveaway video the other night as well, and I do have information about that in the description. Kayla, you're welcome to post the link to it. I think as long as I approve it, it's okay, because maybe. I don't know. I can't remember how that works in live streams. But anyway, yeah, Kayla's doing a giveaway as well, guys. So if you didn't hear me talk about in my giveaway video the other night, see, look, I am excited about my giveaway, but I also want to spread the love, and I will gladly tell you about all the other ones too, because it's always fun. It's always fun to win something like that. But oh my gosh, yeah, do like a combination stream or something. That would be, yeah, Kayla, I'm going to do that eventually. Since this was kind of a practice go, I wasn't really too concerned about it today, but eventually, if I make this a regular thing, I will. I am definitely going to look into that. So, but I am going to make this a thing. Now, I don't know how consistent it will be just yet, because I don't know what night I could consistently do it. And I'm also bad about, if I say I'm going to do it, then again, my brain wants to rebel me. So maybe I should just be kind of slightly casual about it for now. But yes, no, I have had a blast. I will definitely be doing this again. I really did not know how this was going to work out. So I have left parts colored, not colored, that should be colored. What am I doing? See, I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh, it's almost done. It's so pretty. And then I'm like, oh, why did I miss that? I was going to go over some of this with colored pencil, but if we do that, I will be on here for another 4 hours. So I think I'm pretty happy with the Bics. Sometimes I just love using the markers. I love colored pencil over markers, and I need to do that more often. Yes, Robin. Well, Robin, they're probably all at their jobs. We are just now getting to like the time of day where in the US people are getting home from work. So maybe that's the answer. Most of the trolls are probably like late night right now, or yeah, see, I have found the magic time. Yeah, right. I'm going to get on here next time and they're just going to be everywhere. But no, yes, I know. I've been on enough online gaming rooms and Twitch channels and things like that. They are a dime a dozen. Oh, okay. Awesome. But let's see. Oh, okay. That is pretty cool. Thanks for telling me that, Deb. Oh gosh, I have not went over to Sammy's channel in a while. See, I start my day and I will look at my notifications. Oh my gosh, Deb. Well, I hope you don't have an early morning or you're a morning person. I appreciate it. I really do. But no, so when I start my day, I usually will pull up a coloring video while I'm working and just kind of listen to it and look at it in the background. Thanks, Robin. I'm going to put that down so I know for sure. And I do want to mention that on some recordings as well, because I do like trying to talk about what other people are doing as well, because I've had a lot of people be super supportive with me. And at A Colorful Life has been like amazingly supportive of me. And every time I don't know, it's her. I mean, everybody has. And so this is one of the situations I want to pay it forward. So if people are going to be kind like that with me and support me, then I want to do the same for other people. So that's, why I try to do that. If you're having a color along, if you're having a giveaway or anything like that, I try my hardest to talk about that stuff and provide links as well and information, because I want other people to be encouraged as well. This is positive. We all have fun. This is about all of us having fun, and we might as well have fun together, right, guys? Oh, see, I cannot stop the stream till I finish the story. I really can't, because I'm so close now. I can't stop the story. I got to see it through. But back to the Chewy thing. The shipments have just been terrible. Yes, Kayla, when I start my day, I start at the notifications and I pretty much go backwards from the most recent post. And I wish I could change that, but it would take so long to scroll all the way down. So I just kind of try to work my way back. And if I find somebody who I haven't watched a video from in a while, I'll probably go to theirs sooner, just like I said, to try to make my way around. Well, Dusty, that is amazing. Wow. I would be curious to ask you to elaborate, but that sounds a little personal, and you don't want to. I'm not going to ask anybody to share what they don't. You don't have to share any more than you want to. But I will say that's amazing, and I'm so glad to hear that, and that makes me feel even better about doing the live streams now. Yes, Dusty. Well, I am doing this more often. Maybe I should stick with Thursday afternoons for now, because Kayla's going to start one here in a little bit. I don't know of many people that stream on Thursday nights. I'll eventually move to that, but I can't right now. Maybe Thursday afternoons are the time. Maybe that's the time, because this has been a lot of fun. This is a good time of the week where I really need to chill out. And today was no exception to that rule. And yes, I am. That's what I'm going to do. April Sarah, once I get a time frame in, I'm going to contact her with my information. And then I think we're going to try to stick with Thursday afternoons for now. Well, U.S. time. I'm sure that seems like late night over across the pond, so to speak. See, look, I missed a place. Oh, darn. Well, I'm going to finish the story. I'm going to do it. I'm going to finish the thought. That pastels are not the only challenge I have today. But, hot mango mermaids. See? Oh, Lord. This is... I have a coloring book issue. I would show you my coloring book shelf where I have tried to force myself to say, this is all I can have. If I have to go over the size of the shelf, I have to give stuff away. And yeah, no, that's not working. It definitely didn't work with the Dover sale that's going on today, you know. So, hey, maybe that means in the future I can just do more giveaways. So, there's no way, even with the stuff I have, if you include the downloadable pages, I've gotten a lot of artists. Marjorie Sarnett, I've talked about her a lot. Her Facebook group is amazing. And she provides a lot of free downloads of her books. And most of them are already owned. So, Jade Summer, if you subscribe to their newsletter, will send you a number of free coloring pages for their books for you to try. Dover does the same. And of course, when you get these, you know, if you love them and you love the art, really buy the book and support them, and that way they'll keep, you know, they'll be able to keep doing that. But if you count those in, I have a folder of blank coloring pages. And if I hovered over it, it's probably got like 300 pages in it right now. So between that and between the coloring books I have, I believe I could color everything approximately 200 years from now. So I'm not going to get to all of them. So I guess every couple months I will have to do a purge, and not like the scary kind of purge with knives and swords and blood and screaming. Not that kind of purge. We're not going there. Awesome, Kayla. Yeah, sometimes I love finding like the ones where people just randomly stream that, you know, maybe they just feel like streaming for some reason. Those are always fun too. They're kind of impromptu. And I kind of dig those as well. But I think Thursday afternoons, guys, Teacup Kittens. Oh my gosh, Kayla. So I bought that book a while back, and then I gave it to my mother-in-law because it's weird that oh boy, my mother-in-law. That's stuff I probably shouldn't talk about on this channel. Well, we're not going to talk about it right now. But anyway, one of the few things that me and her have really been able to connect on is like art and coloring and stuff, which has been really nice. And yes, Robin, that's kind of where I'm looking at this too. Some days when I don't mind impromptu ones, but some days, like, if 2 or 3 people decide to do something impromptu right at the time that somebody else, you know, does, or a couple other people do weekly streams, it can get really difficult to have to pick. So, oh, awesome, Kayla. Yes, oh gosh, I don't have the unicorn book in Dover, but I do have the unicorn book for Jade Summer. And that was kind of a joke purchase for my husband. And we'll talk about that another day. It was hilarious. But I'm the one that has colored it. I was trying out the Hero watercolor pencils in it. And I got to the point where that's another one of those where I was trying. April Sarah, Kayla, she has a channel. She does a lot of book videos and also coloring videos. She has a document that she manages with a lot of coloring channel information. I think Robin said she could pass along, or if you go look for April Sarah and you do a search for that, you can find her channel. And then if you pick one of her coloring videos, it's actually in the description, I think, for every one of her videos. So I got to send her my information as well. I was trying to wait till I got Instagram set up. I'm not doing a Facebook group, guys. I can barely keep up with the few that I'm a part of. And I can barely keep up with Instagram and YouTube on top of that. So we're looking for quality over quantity here. And so I'm not doing a Facebook group. You will see me in other groups, but we're not doing that. I can barely keep up with my own Facebook account at this point, and I don't really want to. I go on Facebook. I'm checking the coloring groups. I'm not really doing anything else. But, oh, goodness. Yeah. Teacup Kittens. My mother-in-law and I, that's like the one thing we've really connected on. And, okay, Kayla, well, I'm about to finish up. I am going to finish this Chewy story if it kills me before I jump off, but it'll probably be the next 10 minutes, and I'll remind people so maybe they can roll over to yours as well. Once I check in with my friend and see what he's doing, I'll try to pop in tonight, Kayla, if I can. So thank you so much for coming to this one, though. It's really awesome to actually get to talk to you in kind of a chat format. And I've only been able to catch one of your live streams so far, so hopefully more so in the future. it's been kind of busy with my parents moving and stuff. So hopefully over the next few weeks, things will calm down a little. But yeah, Teacup Kittens, my mother-in-law and I really connected on coloring, which is something we don't have a lot in common. And so I really wanted to give her some stuff to start with. And so I had gotten the Teacup Kitten coloring book, and I thought this would be a perfect one for her as well, because she wanted to do a lot more like watercolors, which I'm doing at some point. Funny enough, watercolors are some of my favorite things to use right now, and water brushes that I can use as watercolors, but I hardly ever use them. I just don't have time yet. I've got to do it because I miss them. I love marker coloring, but I miss the watercolors. They're so cool. I need to do more distressing. If you guys saw the Country Charm page I was doing, I loved using the distressing too. So I don't know. I've got to figure out how to mix all this stuff in. I love doing just markers. Like, this is a calming kind of chill thing. And this is probably what I'll do mostly to start with in live streams until I get more used to the format. And then maybe not. We'll see. But anyway, I gave her the Teacup Kittens book I had, but I had to turn right back around and go ahead and get it for myself again because I loved it so much. And it is a very neat, it's a little unique in coloring books. Let me see if I can find it. If I don't knock everything else over. You guys saw a little bit of it probably yesterday. So here's that. It is by Kayomi. And I just found it on Amazon. I was just Kayomi Hooray. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm terrible with names. I'm terrible with pronunciations. But I just found this randomly on Amazon when I was looking around for coloring books. And this is really unique in that she goes into depth where she talks about her art style. You know, I probably should have considered this my flip food for tomorrow. But anyway, you guys get an extra one if I can do it straight. So the video is showing all the text backwards for me, which is driving me crazy. There it goes. She talks about her art style. And then she does go in some basic coloring stuff. Like, she talks a little bit about the color wheel, color theory. It says she created the line drawings in this book based on her original paintings. There's some light gray shading that can be used as guidelines. In that page I had with like the 90s cats with the caps turned backwards, there was grayscale in that. Bye, Kayla. There was grayscale in that, and it really helped because I'm not quite ready to. I found a fur tutorial. I think it was Color with Claire. Did a really good one the other day that looked really easy, and I can't wait to try that out. But with this, she tried to provide paper that could handle a variety of mediums. So she talks even here about using gelatos for backgrounds. And I have gelatos. I'm using that for some of my art, but I have not tried that yet in a coloring book. Like, I need something else to try in a coloring book. But she even goes over coloring eyes, shading, and then she gives you, Robin, I am helping everyone to join in with my color book. Words, Michelle. Coloring book love. She gives you completed pages as kind of inspiration as to what can be done. And as a bonus, this one, I can't wait. Oh my gosh, I probably could do this in I saved this, and then I said the same thing with the Million Christmas Cats book. So I will probably do all the stuff out of season. And then when the actual season comes around, I'll do something completely different. That's just how I want to do things. So these were actually colored by different people, and she showcases those as well. Yeah, Deb, totally. The backs of the pages have like little quotes. The idea of calm exists in a sitting cat. And then you can write some stuff here. You can probably put your name, date, what you used. The water brush pens worked really well with this. There was only a little bit of waviness to it. And if I put a bunch of heavy books on top of it, that will probably fix that. I've not tried actual like really wet media on this, but the way the paper feels, it's a smoother paper. So your markers and your water stuff will probably perform a little better than a lot of colored pencils, though Prismacolors may do just fine with this. Hi, Morticia. Okay, no. Is that how I say your name? If I don't, if that's not it, I'm so sorry. I was sitting there like, oh no, I'm going to mispronounce her name. But hi and welcome. But anyway, there's all kinds of different pages in this. It's not just in cups. They have different little scenes. And they're just adorable. And she even gives suggestions. So if I felt lazy and I picked out one of these pages, she gives you an example palette to work with right here for some of these. Anyway, oh, awesome. I got one right. Woo. But anyway, these are adorable. And when I was coloring that one, I was like, I've got to get back to this book quickly. But then I picked up Million Christmas Cats the day before yesterday, and I was saying the same thing about that one. I have to see if John Bigwood does anything else. If you guys haven't seen that, okay, I'll show you this. See, I'm stalling. That's what I'm doing. I said I was going to finish that story, and I'm going to. Darn it. Dang it. John Bigwood and A Million Christmas Cats. I picked this up at Book Outlet just to kind of add to the cart to kind of get you over that little shipping hump. It was like a couple bucks. And I had barely looked at it. And I was going to do Shalene and Jen's Christmas in July. And it was coming down to the wire the other day. And so I was like, I got to do it. I got to do it. I opened this one up. And I was going to make, this was one of those, I recorded a Carefree Coloring episode. And I never loaded it. Because, I don't know, I just wasn't real happy with it. But I used Cali Arts and colored gel pens with this, which I talked about in the video I posted last night. I talked a little more about them. But I started looking through this book when I was trying to pick a picture. Oh my gosh. I mean, not only are these cute, but they're also kind of funny. And those are my favorite. Like, I love this one where you've got like one in the fireplace and it looks like they're knocking stuff over. There's one. Wait a minute. I picked like 3 or 4 in here. I could not make up my mind what I wanted to do first. I think there's one where like the cats are masquerading as something else. Let me see if I can find it. I have to pick it up and do this. Otherwise, we'll be sitting here for 10 minutes while I look for it. Yeah, unfortunately, I forgot that, alcohol markers bleed through. How could I forget that? I was able to save one page by scanning it, but I did not do the other one. So, oh, wait. Anyway, I'm not just showing these pages. See, you're getting a flip through Friday on a Thursday. So, how awesome is that? So, they have like an advent calendar type thing with the cats. And that's one I think I want to do around Christmas. You got your little express. They're silly. Some of them. Oh, it was this one. Hang on. I saw it. So you got the little birds here, and then you got the cat in the bird costume. Oh my gosh. I've never heard of John Bigwood before I started looking at this. I have to go see if he has more, but I'm almost scared to look, guys, because if I find more, I don't know what I'm going to do. Anyway, that was a pleasant surprise, and I'm sure that's going to happen a lot with me. But I will try to do some more flip throughs tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I've already done all my Dover books, and so we'll have to find something else. I don't know yet. I'm just going to play that by ear. So I'm going to finish the story. So she says half an hour later. For those of you who have just showed up, I think we're pretty much done here, and I completed a picture on camera, guys, from start to finish, and it only took like 3 hours. Okay, maybe it was closer to 2.5, and it was just Sharpies and Bics. It wasn't like this was, oh my gosh, guys, I am so slow. I'm glad that you guys like to just talk too, because if you're here for some real, like, getting into some in-depth coloring, I'm not going to be able to do that, at least to start with. I hope I get faster over time, but so far I haven't had much luck. So for those of you that have showed up, I have had a story I've been trying to finish probably about 45 minutes now, and I keep getting distracted. But I am going to finish it right now. So to summarize, I have had issues with my FedEx carrier. I get shipments for my cats. They're littering their food. They're chewy, and the next to last shipment I got from them, it looked like the boxes had just been torn to pieces. And I thought a lot of that was Chewy's fault because the bags of litter are like 40-pound bags. They're pretty big. And hey, while I'm sitting here talking, because I'm going to get distracted talking about books. Okay, Robin, I'll see you later. Just to finish up the story, Chewy's awesome. And it was really FedEx. That was probably the issue other than Chewy. Thank you, Robin. And like I said, I'll try to do Thursday afternoons for now if I can. I think that'll work out, at least for now. Bye. So I contacted Chewy and I said, I took pictures and I showed that to them. I said, could you reinforce the bottom of your boxes? Your boxes are pretty heavy. Maybe you should try to look at a different way of distributing them. I didn't want to just complain. I wanted to offer, I wanted to offer my thoughts on it too. I didn't want to just be one of those that just griped because I've bought from them for like 5 years now, and I've never had an issue up until the last like 6 months. And so I sent the email on a Saturday, and I thought, okay, well, they're not going to be in the office, and nothing's really going to come of this. I get like the nicest, longest email from them that afternoon, and the customer, I'm assuming it's customer service rep. Heck, I don't know. It's a pretty small company, I think. She was super nice. And she was like, thank you so much for letting us know. We're going to talk to our warehouse, and we're also going to talk to our carrier about this. Thank you for your suggestions. Some of the issues I had were actually with the food companies like Friskies. The way they wrapped their cases with plastic was causing a bunch of dented cans. They said, but we've passed that information along for them. They said, we're going to reship you the 2 cases of food that were damaged for free. And she said, then we're also going to take 10% off your next order. And it just blew me away because I was like, I wasn't really asking for anything. I just wanted them, put a piece of cardboard or something, like do something different with their boxes. And it wasn't like I really wanted more food. If they had just simply, and when they sent me the new food, they didn't charge me for that either. And it was like, I wouldn't have minded getting some of the new food because some of it, with dented cans and stuff, especially even humans, you're not really supposed to eat canned food that's been dented because bacteria growth and stuff. So I didn't really want to feed my cats this. And so they sent me that. They sent it, and it got here like the next day. And she said, we're also going to take 10% off your next order. And it was just the most thorough, nicest email I've ever received from a company. And it blew me away. So I got the food and everything. It looked great. The box was fine. And then, let me see if I can find it. I had it like right here. What did I do with it? I put it here and I'm leaving it here so I can show you guys. Here it is. So like Monday or Tuesday, I get this card. And in it, I got a handwritten note from Christian. Oh, okay. So it was a guy. Sorry. Or maybe it's a girl. Who knows? It's really awesome gel pen work, though. It just is asking me or saying that we're going to be working on our issues. I want to thank you for giving us the information. And he said, we appreciate you being patient with us and things like that. And that was just super awesome. And to top it all off, then I had ordered toilet paper, all things through Walmart, though I did sneak in some art stuff and I got some Crayola stuff. It's back to school. They're discounted. Oh, I also got some watercolor pencils too. These are so much cheaper through Walmart than Amazon. I love Amazon, but man, when it comes to Crayola, Walmart's like a really better deal. Anyway, this was in with the toilet paper. I get that box from Walmart and it looks just like those Chewy boxes. I don't know what they're putting those boxes through, but they look ripped to shreds. And it's not like it was super heavy. It was toilet paper. I could have strapped that on the back of my 25-pound cat and he probably could have carried it. So Chewy probably should reinforce their boxes just because of the weight distribution. And I love them to death for taking, me seriously here. So guys, I'm serious. No company's perfect. Mistakes can be made. Chewy, Amazon's always been great with me. And anytime I've ever had to contact customer service, I don't have an issue with them. But I will say this, I've never had such a personal response from a company, and it really blew me away. I was expecting them to just, like I said, if they could have just refunded me the money or something like that's all I just wanted them to take my comments seriously because I had documentation on it, and they did. And so, guys, seriously, if you have pets, I am now like all about Chewy because, like I said, every company's going to have problems. The real test comes with how do they react to those problems when you call their attention to it. So, yay, I finished my story, guys. Oh my gosh, I have to ask Brian how things are going. That's my friend. He's got about an hour, I think, left before the polls close. But guys, I am finished. This was Flower Mandalas. For anybody that came in last minute, I'll show this real quick. It was for, goodness, I cannot do that right. There you go. Flower Mandalas, Creative Haven book. I did color in this a couple times last month for Carefree Coloring, and I really like it. This is a great book to come back and just kind of chill with. So that's what we were doing. We used Sharpies and Bic markings. And it took me forever, but it is done. And I challenged myself with pastel colors, and I was just picking them, and look how it turned out. I would have never guessed. Oh, goodness, Blue Petal, I'm sorry. Hey, I'm going to start trying to stream probably Thursday afternoons. So just as FYI, that's what I'm going to try to do from here on out. So hopefully you can catch another one. And plus, this is recorded, guys. So anybody wants to sit through 3 hours of this, then, and a lot of you have, and I am so glad. And it sounds like a lot of you love live streams. Oh my gosh, Dusty, thank you for telling me that. My husband is probably relieved because now I have somebody else to talk to other than the cats. And see, guys, this is why you have pets. So when it looks like you're talking to yourself, you can just say you're talking to your cats or your dogs, and they won't think you're crazy, or as crazy, maybe. Well, Dusty, I do. I want to have fun with this, and this has been a blast. Guys, I was so stressed out a couple hours before I did this, and I really didn't think I was going to. And but I'm glad I did, and there will be more of this. I'll probably do a flip through Friday tomorrow, guys. So check that out. Check out the giveaway I have. It's going through next Sunday night. Just go check out my giveaway video. I think it's not the last one posted, but the one before that on Tuesday. It is 2 Dover books and a 168 pack, brand new pack of Wanshui Hero colored pencils. They're the same thing. It's just different names. So yeah, feel free to enter that giveaway. I'm going to draw that Monday and then do another one for the next week with some more colored pencils and books. So stay tuned, guys. I will do this. Yes. Like I said, I'll try to do this Thursday afternoons. We'll see how it goes for a couple weeks, but just so you guys know, thank you for sticking around, and bye for now.